good. Recording in so basically though, I'm not expecting anyone online, which hi, if you're watching this online in the future, I'm glad you're here too. This is Spine Hips and Surrender. Okay. Well, yay, good morning. Thanks for getting the space set up. I'm functioning like a champ today. That's sarcasm. So good luck dealing with me. And my distracted brain. But I'm glad that y'all are here. Let's dive in. Let's do a check-in. So we have a lot of poses to get through today, but it's your last posture clinic. Yeah. So we're just gonna bust through the rest, get you practice teaching. Yeah, there's like the last couple of weeks, it's been like three poses, and then now it's like, here's 14. But the good news is that you are really skilled at this point in how to learn this information. And so yeah, we'll bust right through, but I want to make sure that we get a lot of practice teach time. So I don't have any specific fun question for your check-in. So let me know how you're doing in general and how you're doing with the sequence. Who wants to kick us off? Thanks.
I was just telling Eva, I don't know if I need to do
If you will, I know you guys have like done this 80,000 times. If you will for me today, I'm 99% sure I've got everyone's, but
Okay, I'm Hannah. I use she, her pronouns. I was just telling Eva, I feel really confident in the sequence, like integration through some B.
okay.
And then I also feel pretty confident with triangle. I think probably because that was last weekend and it's really fresh in my mind. Core crescent and then the whole chair series, I'm pretty fuzzy on still. And then in general, I'm feeling good this morning. I'm really excited for postures we're gonna learn today. So yeah, it's my favorite one.
Thank you so much. All right, we'll go through the background.
My name is Renata. I don't feel confident with the sequence. I'm still like trying to memorize all of it. I feel pretty good about the adjustments. I think like I don't know, I really like touching people. I know that sounds weird. But I just like feel comfortable, like adjusting the postures. I am struggling to memorize the sequence because I have been working a lot, like basically almost like 10 hours a day. So it's a lot. And I try to read and practice at home, but just like doesn't get stuck in my mind because I feel that I'm like always tired. But yeah, I'm excited for today as well. And yeah, let's see what happens.
You're a rock star for attempting this right now. So yeah, let us know you need.
I'm Vero. I feel like integrations and A and B, I know it. Every morning I've been like practicing the sequence. I'm not singing out loud. I know I should. I just find myself like so I'm just in my brain doing it. And then my students this week had some independent time. And on Thursday, Hannah Marie showed us a little like practice she made where she like wrote the sequence inhale and then the pose and she cut it. She was like, I was quizzing myself with the paper and I was just cheating because I could see. So it's like a booklet and she just like moves the pages. So I did that while my students were doing their own thing. And I did it from the back. So I did it from triangle and present because I feel like confident with integration in the other two. So I was like, let me see where I'm at. And I was a little bit lost. I had to redo like two of them because I kept thinking I knew it. And then when I would look at the page, I was like, ooh, I forgot that inhale over here. So that's where I'm at. And I feel like my cues are coming along as I say, like think about them. But when I practice in my car, I'm like, oh, I no. So that's where I'm at with cues.
Okay. Way to go. Yeah, figuring out your brain in all the ways.
It's a puzzle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Carly, she, her pronouns. I feel pretty good with the sequence. I did a little practice teach with my friends this week, which was the first time that I taught like outside of here with you all, except for one little thing I did with my wife, but that was like 4 weeks ago and it was a tiny bit. I actually was like happily surprised with, I feel like how much I knew. of the cues, because I fumble a lot with my words, but I feel like it all just came out, and it was actually really helpful to do it with like more of like beginners or people who didn't know, because I realized like, oh, kind of how I feel like some of the teachers have said, like, you can really see the cues when somebody's doing the pose like totally wrong. Cause I was like, oh yeah, turn your back toes, straighten your knee. I was like, so that felt good. I've definitely done more. I had like my note cards for the cues, and I was like obsessing over the memorizing every single one, more with the beginning of the sequence. And so I feel better with the beginning of the sequence, but that's where I was happily surprised, like the end, I haven't done quite as much with my note cards of it, but I feel like, because some of the poses we repeat, so there are just a few new ones, I feel like they kind of did, they came out when I needed it to, so definitely have a long way to go, I realized when I was teaching them, but felt better than I thought. I was very nervous going into it and did pretty good. Yeah, overall feeling very happy to be here today though, excited to be here with everybody, so yeah, thanks.
Jordan. With the sequence and everything, I would say I feel like decently confident, not like where I want to be, but like I know we're only in like what, like week 6 or 7 now. So I kind of like took a breath and I was like, yeah, we have a little bit of time yet. I don't need to know every single thing yet. I've been listening to the YouTube video like at work, like just at my desk, just in the background and everything a lot, which has been helping. I've been doing like the full hour-long practice in the morning and everything, as well. So like just repetition for me in like every way, shape, and form, like doing it, listening to it, like saying it. That's really helped a lot. So I feel a little bit better with it. And then overall, yeah, I feel pretty good to be just happy to be here today. So
Awesome. Great outlook too on like, we're only like halfway through. It's okay.
yeah,
That's
it's
good.
like I was stressing hardcore about it, like the fact that I didn't know every single cue and everything, but I'm like, you know what, we still got time.
Mhm. Totally. Thanks, Jordan.
I'm Eva. I she, her pronouns. Feeling like overall solid, I would say, like more positive than negative about the sequence. Yeah, Stan and I were chatting this morning and I was like, yeah, integration, Sun A, Sun B, like so strong. Like, I don't want to say that. And then I'm gonna mess it up today, so don't hold me to anything I'm saying right now. And then I feel like as the sequence continues, I feel like less strong, but like Jordan was like, oh, I know that will come with time. And the more like we keep layering on top and the more I keep practicing, I'm sure it'll feel natural soon. So I feel fine overall. I think it's just starting to hit me like this morning when I was driving here, like, oh, I'm tired. Like it's haven't had, a day off or like really a lot of alone time, which I really thrive on lately. And so I think that's starting to like compound and not get to me, but I just feel myself being really tired. And I also am still happy and grateful to be here. So just acknowledging that in the future, I will probably look back on this time very fondly. And so I'm trying to like be as present as possible right now. So
It was really great. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah.
I'm back. I learned integration. I think I'm pretty solid on the hot sequence. So yeah, I'm working on learning the vinyasa sequence, and it's kind of cool to like learn more than one thing because yeah, I don't know. I'm just excited to learn the vinyasa sequence. I don't have much to say, although like I just relate to what you said and I'm a little sleepy, but I'm really happy to be here with you all. So thank you.
Pronouns. Overall, I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like I really am craving some practice time because, like, in my head, I've got it, but then, there's like actually doing it with a person or multiple people. So, like Eva does, I invited some of my coworkers next week, including your friend Amanda. Yes, so my coworker is her old coworker. To do like a little session. I only invited 4 of them and like just my trusted colleagues. But yeah, so I'm excited. I'll have that opportunity. And then I did it once with my husband and he was like sweating his ass off. So that was pretty funny. Yeah, so I'm getting there. I feel like good about it. I feel like we still have time to kind of like iron out the kinks. And I did this week your YouTube class, which those ads were killing me, man. That was the one bummer. But so overall, it was good.
Skelly.
I'm Megan. I feel pretty good with the sequence. I really haven't looked at anything, to be honest, for this last part, but I'm just like tired, physically and emotional.
Thanks for letting us know. I like your glasses. Katie, hi.
Hey,
Thanks for taking one for the team.
I am not tired. I'm running on a lot of adrenaline right now. So weird thing about third eye in my dream last night. So this morning I get into posture clinic and I was like, why is Austin in posture clinic? Walk into Pikes Peak. I walk into Austin's class. He's like, get out of here. I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh, I just had a dream about this. So anyways, on the way to Pikes Peak, I almost got hit. So I was already like, oh my God. So anyways, coming down now. With the sequence, I actually surprised myself. I've been practicing out loud with my husband. He'll look at the book and I'll like read it to him, the breath and the posture. And I'm kind of like surprising myself, like, wow, I really do get this. And I've moved on from integration Sun A, Sun B. I'm like, let's just focus on core in this half and like these other parts because we've been doing that a lot. So, and it's a lot of repetition, but yeah, I'm really excited for these coming weeks because I feel like now that I kind of know the flow, I'm going to be able to like settle into, you know, all of the cues and in my voice and stuff like that. So, yeah. I think that I answered the question right
Yeah, there wasn't specific. How you doing? Okay, great. And I'm glad you're safe. All right, well, I guess I'll do a little check-in because I'm just to say my brain is just I'm on the struggle bus. I don't remember if I told you or not. My mom passed away in November and it was in a bad car accident before that I got a pretty nice concussion from. And it's like some weeks I'm like totally fine. And then I'm just like, am I wearing pants right now? I'm just like, oh boy. So please let me know today if you're just like, hey, you're not making sense, or like, can you slow down or go over that again? Or so like, I'm just like really, my brain hopefully, and then I think on the time change, I'm just like, that I cannot handle little things like that right now. But my brain will get there eventually today, I'm hoping. And I'm just really grateful to get to be with you all. So thanks for, yeah, sharing and being vulnerable because now I'm just like, oh, yeah, I'm so glad I'm here. That's what this is about. Um, let's see. So plan for today, we're going to round robin like you all did last week. And then we'll rip through these last. I mean, it's crazy because today spine, hips, and surrender ideally is going to be 15 minutes of the hour. So like that's a whole quarter of the time that you're learning. But spine, hips, and surrender is such an important aspect of class because we are, for the most part, especially here in the West, like really in this chronic state of fight or flight. And it used to be, you know, fight or flight was like, ah, there's a tiger coming for me. And now it's like, ah, an email. And so, and you know the email, you know the email or the text or the phone call. And so like if we're all living up here, you know, it's like we have really like the the bell curve of class where, you know, we come in at integration and we just like start to get integrated and then we build the energy and then it peaks and then we ride that a little bit and you know, it's like after Sun B, we've gotten so big and Sun like I think like really like pulling the cord of the lawnmower, right? Like you've gotten your motor running and then like core is all about like bringing that back into like what the area of what chakra? Navel, solar plexus, yeah, Manipura. You the center of your power, yeah, like your personal power. So then we really move into like revolved crescent. So then it's like you've already like crunched that energy inward. And then now going into the twist, it's like making your energy laser focused for the rest of class. So we ride that wave a little bit while longer through triangle, but now in spine, hips, and surrender, it's very much about like, okay, like you got your engine going, you had some good experience really intentionally using your energy, and like now we're going to chill, which is such, and you might have heard Austin call I've used the phrase like it's like running the puppy. Like the I mean historically vinyasa, I believe, was geared toward like 11-year-old boys who were just they were in some sort of yoga institution, and they were like, all right, we got to get some energy out of these little dudes. And so, and it's like, oh, yep, we are all running around here like 11-year-old boys and just like, ah, we have just so much frenetic energy. And once we've gotten some of that out by a lot of this half series over and over and over again throughout class and things like that, now it's like, okay, we actually get to settle and help calm our nervous system. And so you don't want to shortchange um, the importance or the time spent in spine, hips, and surrender. Because like that's kind of like we ran the puppy so that we can take these 15 minutes and calm down. But if we just walk in and we're like, all right, let's start in half pigeon, A, that's not like physically accessible, but B, your students are just going to be like, so, now that we've gotten that energy out a little bit, we actually have that shot at like more restorative rest. Um, and so these poses, you want to spend your time in them and not feel like you have to rush through them. So most of these are going to be longer holds. Usually it's been like, 3 to 5 breaths for the long holds, right? Now we're going to get more into like 5 to 7, 5 to 10 breaths in this latter part of the sequence. Let's see, before we move on, it sounds like you all are doing a really great job of figuring out how you're learning the sequence, what's working for you, what's not. So really great job with that, and really great job um, engaging with it, even if you haven't put your finger on the pulse yet. And something Carly said about like, oh, I usually fumble over my words. And I don't know if you meant specifically when you're teaching or just in life, but keep in mind that like right now, the tools that you are learning to get through yoga teacher training of, hey, my alone time is really important to me, or my brain works like this, or hey, this is an opportunity where I'm noticing that I'm not fumbling my words as much. Like these are things that also get to impact you beyond the scope of just teaching yoga. Um, Someone told me last week, they were like, you're so articulate. And I'm like, I swear I'm not. But and I was like, well, I've become more articulate because of teaching yoga. And I've become like, there are just certain things that I've practiced so much in this seat of a yoga teacher that it has started to impact my life outside of teaching yoga. And what a really, really wonderful gift that is. And I just wanted to acknowledge the work that you're putting in now. You are already doing that. You're learning more about yourself. You're engaging with that ability to grow. Like the things are happening. So I don't know if you're able to be aware of that at this point or not, but I really wanted to give you a big pat on the back because I know about halfway through, a little bit over halfway through here, and you all have a lot of different things going on and compounding not only the work of this, but the ways in which it's requiring you to be vulnerable and to be present. It's just really beautiful. So thanks for showing up and doing the thing. That's what makes this so great. Oh, all of that to say, a tangible takeaway that Katie had mentioned of like, if you're starting to feel really confident with the first half of the series, a lot of times the feedback that we get is it helps to start with from like crescent core, somewhere in there. When you're practice teaching, then after today, run through the rest of the series when your brain is really fresh. And when you're like, yep, I need help from my neural pathways connecting right now and all of that brain energy. And then with the rest of your hour, go back and maybe review the earlier things But you can do that when your brain is a little bit more tired because you do have more experience with it at this point. So if that's something that works for you when you're out there practicing, great. If that's like confusing to your brain at all, it's not the most important suggestion I feel like I've ever offered. It's just an option if that works for you. All righty. Any questions on anything in the sequence or the process so far? All right. So when you all did round robin last week, did you have pre-assigned parts of the sequence you were going to teach, or is it like, Kelly, up next? Okay, great. Let's do that. You want to do pre-assigned? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. All right, so let me think here. We've got integration, Sun A, Sun B. Let's do 1, 2, core. Oh, I should have been being like, what comes out? Okay, what comes after crescent? Utkatasana. And what comes after Utkatasana? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm so close. Let's do 2 triangle. All right, so we'll have one person do integration. Who wants to get it? Beck, what should you get? Should you get either integration or triangle?
I don't even know. I don't care either way. I guess we did triangle last. I could do either.
You do either. Well, I'm giving you purposefully first choice, so you pick.
Integration.
Okay. BEC or BEK?
BEC.
BEC. Okay. Okay. And Sun A. Carly, thank you. All right, the slow flow of Sun B. VIRO. VERO. Thank you. And then both rounds, 1 breath per movement. Hannah. H at the end?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Core. All right, crescent on the right side. Kelly. Crescent on the left side. Jordan. Utkatasana. Okay, Katie. Does anyone else want to do Utkatasana as well? Because if no one wants to do core, then we're going to have to split up Utkatasana. All right. Someone's getting stuck with core. Triangle on the right side. Eva.
I can
Unicore.
I feel these comfortable. Since we just did it.
Okay. Megan, MEGH. 2. Oh, Renata. Triangle on the second side?
No.
No.
It's really hard. I'm still like,
Um,
trying to memorize all of it.
okay, what about core then?
It's also really hard. Like I lost
Okay.
the class, so I missed the class. I don't know how to show, like to do the nail
Yeah.
for core.
For core? Oh, okay, well,
I still need to read anyways. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what I need to do. I will have to read.
okay.
So
alrighty.
something that's like shorter. would
Yeah.
be Best.
Well, I will put you down for the second side of triangle and I'll help you through it. Will you spell your name for me, please?
RENATA.
Awesome. Okay.
So
Um,
always.
Oh, thank you. I had a feeling when I wrote it. My apologies. Did I misspell anyone else's name? Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so if Beck is teaching, then Carly is on deck and you're also adjusting. And then when Carly teaches, then Vito, you'll be adjusting on deck as well. I will also adjust with you all. That way, if you're like, just don't know what to do, you have me to look at. If the teacher says something that is incorrect, what do you all do? I would say for right now, when they say something that's incorrect, just stay still. Don't do what they say, don't do the right thing. And so teachers, if you're teaching and everyone just doesn't move after you said something, it means something's wrong and reconsider. I'll let you flounder for a good 8 seconds, not flounder. I will let you think about it for the next 8 seconds or so, see if you can connect the dots. But if and when you need help, that's what I'm there for. So just students, I'll ask you to not give them hints, let them have that opportunity to connect the dots. Carly, did you have another question?
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify, I rose my hand for Sun A and I'm realizing I don't know, am I doing round 1 demo, round 2, round 3?
You got it.
Okay.
Same for me.
I was like, what's the T?
Yeah, both of the flows. Yeah.
I should know for reading.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I'll do like 2 and 3 just to make that clear. All right, any questions?
Okay, so we do our teach piece and then after that we're the adjuster.
Before you teach, you're the adjuster.
Okay.
Is that how you did it last week? You did it. Okay.
I can't remember, but when we're adjusting, are we adjusting? Should we adjust in like circle, like if I start with it in and then I move on like that, so that we don't lose the. Because I felt like when I was adjusting last week, we were all like all over the place.
Yeah.
So maybe like if we adjust in circles, we can keep track of who gets adjusted.
I really love that. So I would practice that for your sake of like a lot of times I see people hesitate. They're like, I don't know what the adjustment is. We finally get into the pose. They look at me, they figure out what the adjustment is, and now you have to choose who to adjust. And it just, so that way, if you're just like, all right, I'm just gonna touch you here. Okay. It just kind of cuts out some of that time. I wouldn't worry about, we're not gonna hit everyone the same number of times. If someone got something on the right side, and then someone else is adjusting, they're probably not going to get it on the left, things like that. But I think for your sake, that's something I do as a teacher is I just go around in a circle. And so if you want to start practicing that now, that's great. Yeah, great suggestion. Thank you. All righty, Rue. Let's get started in integration. So Beth, you kick it off, and Carly, you'll be adjusting as well alongside of Beck. So teacher teaches and adjusts too.
And then I have to touch you guys. Sorry. That's funny. Putting my phone back. And I started on this morning, like this football meeting. And I thought if you guys can look down.
Sit down on your mat. I will say if you are able to, unless you've already explicitly said I need to use my notes today, I'm going to challenge you to not to, and trust that I will work with you to support you to help connect the dots and get you where you need to go, okay? You can also be an exception since you haven't done
So everyone, welcome to your 9:30 a.m. Vinyasa class. My name is Bex. Carly, she'll be adjusting. We'll go ahead and get started in child's pose. So bring your knees to the outer edges of your mat, close to touch, hips go back, arms forward. And we'll take a couple breaths here just to ground and get ready for practice.
Should we do all the breaths, Erica? Or should we do the regular timing? Or?
Yep. Yeah, regular timing. Okay. Good question.
Really root into your mat and just arrive. Everything else is actually looking fun this morning. If you're ready, you can press into a tabletop.
Pause you right there. Oh, okay, so you just want to know this. So there are 3 things that we say in child's pose that aren't cues. Yeah. So the first one, why don't you go ahead and ask, if you don't want to be touched today, give us a great big wave of an arm. Second one is ujjayi breath, turn it on. And third is take breaks, return back here at any time. Okay. Thank you.
So now on an inhale, you
Oh, so just like, because I want to make sure that we know adjustment wise if anyone's opting out. So
Oh, okay. So, okay,
yeah.
okay. If for any reason you don't want to be touched today, you can raise your arm high. Know that consent is ongoing. If the adjustment doesn't feel right, you can always just wave us away. I'm gonna fire up the ujjayi breath, which is a slight constriction in the back of the throat. Kind of like you're fogging up a mirror. And you can take breaks and water and come back to child's pose as much as you need throughout class. So on an inhale, you can press up to tabletop now. And kind of wiggle it out, shake out your hips. Take a couple of cat cows just to stretch out your back, get the blood flowing, check in with your body. And on your next exhale, press into cat, round through the spine, tuck the head, and expand through the back. On an inhale for cow, drop the belly, and the head comes up, nice arch in the spine. And just alternate here through cat and cow with your natural inhale and exhale. On your next exhale, press into the hands, lift the hips to downward facing dog. Take a minute to pedal out your feet, walk out the dog. Maybe go one side, then the other, shake it out. Press into the fingertips. On an inhale, you'll gaze forward to the top of your mat. Step the feet to the hands for a forward fold, the ragdoll variation. So you can grab opposite elbows and kind of shake your head yes and no. On your next inhale, slowly roll up the spine, picking your head up last. Then we'll come to mountain pose. Take some breaths here in mountain pose, feel the ground underneath your feet. On your next inhale, raise your arms for extended mountain. Arms up, relax the shoulders down, press the hips forward slightly. And on your next exhale, on the sides.
Way to go! That was great. I'm so impressed that you gave an adjustment in there too. Way to go. Okay, so 2 teeny tiny little things, like they're just at the very end. It's hands to heart center, and then that's when we're to set an intention.
Oh, okay.
Instead of hands back down here. And then a little filler word thing that you do is like that and those, like those fingers, that but things like that instead of your. So think your. Awesome. Wait, do you want to have practice with them set an intention?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, do it.
Okay. Thanks for bearing with me. Okay, yeah, so again, heart center, eyes closed, and think of why you came to practice today and something you want to focus on for the rest. That intention into your heart and just try to remember for the next hour or two. All right, Carl, take us away.
Take one more inhale and exhale here to seal your intention. On your next inhale, extended mountain pose, Urdhva Hastasana. Send your intention out into the universe. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees, engage your core, hands to your heart center. Hands come down to the mat, feet. Weight is in the balls of your feet. Slight bend in the knees. Hanging heavy, keeping our neck loose. Take a nice inhale and exhale here. On your next inhale, standing halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Hands come to shins or thighs. Weight is in the balls of your feet. You can have that slight bend in your knees. Pulling our shoulder blades together behind us. Gaze is at the top of the mat. Try to imagine that your back is like a tabletop here, so creating a nice flat back. Remember to breathe, inhale and exhale. On your next exhale, plank. Plant your hands shoulder width distance on the mat, step your feet back for push-up position. Hold here for just a second. Option to come down to the knees if that feels better in your body. Pressing my hands. Pushing through your heels, pressing through your fingertips. Really building strength here, heating up the body. Shoulders are pressing behind us, gaze is straight, keeping our neck long. Engage your core, engage your glutes, hold for one more. Exhale, lower it down to your belly, elbows hug the ribs. Pressing against gravity as you slowly lower, untuck your toes. Take a breath here, say hello to your mat. Your inhale, Cobra Bhujangasana. Press into your feet, press into your pelvis, your thighs may lift a little off the mat maybe. You're going to slowly peel your chest off, little to no weight in the hands. Then your exhale, slowly lower back down. Let's do a couple more of those together. Inhale, peel your chest up off the mat, little to no weight in the hands, really using the legs to support the upper body. Gaze shines forward, collarbones back. And exhale, lower down to your mat at your own pace. Remember, my words are just suggestions. If you want to move a little faster or slower than me, you're always welcome to. Inhale, peel your chest up off the mat. Press into your lower body. And when you're ready, exhale, lower back down to the mat. We're going to come into down dog. Move your hands, one handprint forward on the mat. Push your hips up and back, untuck your toes. Creating an inverted V with your body. Option to hold the sides of your mat here. Sometimes can feel better on the shoulders, or you can come into a tabletop. We're creating length from our fingertips to our hips and from our tailbone to our heels. Pressing through the fingertips, slight bend in the knees. Shine your heart towards your thighs. You can pedal out the feet, maybe bend into the right knee, bend into the left, or bend into both and reset your hips. That feels really good sometimes. Take one more nice big breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, gaze comes to the top of the mat. Exhale, walk your feet to meet your hands for forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come to shins or thighs. Exhale, forward fold, let it all go. Inhale, extended mountain pose, arms come all the way up, shoulders are soft, pinky spiral in. And exhale, forward fold, release all the way down to your mat. Inhale, standing halfway lift, one more time. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind you, nice flat back. I was supposed to demo.
Yeah.
What do I
It's
do
okay.
now?
Keep getting back to down dog, and then you could do it between the next round.
Okay. Exhale, hands to the mat for plank. Slowly lower down to your belly on your next breath. Then inhale for cobra. Feel your chest up off the mat. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind you. And when you're ready, press into down dog. I did that when I practice taught too. When I got here, I was like, oh, they don't know anything else they do. Okay. If everybody could come down to a comfortable seat really quickly, grab some water if you need. Everybody's doing great. We do what's called a half series a lot in vinyasa class, so I want to give you some options for that. So that is basically what you do from the plank pose back to meeting us in down dog. So what we just did that time was, I'm going to demo from my knees. You have the option to be on your knees or lift up onto your toes. Basically what you did last time was you went from plank, lowered all the way to your belly, cobra, and then into down dog. Other option, that one is a really good back strengthening stretch. The one I'm going to show you now is a really good heart opening stretch. So option there, you'll be in plank just as before. This time when we lower down, we're not going to lower all the way down to our belly. We're just going to go about 90 degrees. We're going to shine our chest forward, untuck our toes. First we rock forward, then we press and shine our heart forward, thighs lift up off of the mat. So now the only thing pressing into the mat is the tops of your feet and your palms. And keep your shoulders low away from your ears. And then from here, you untuck your toes, press your hips back up into down dog. The other option is to go straight from plank up into down dog, or you can do anything else that feels comfortable for you. Maybe take a child's pose, maybe just grab a drink of water. But either way, we meet in down dog every time. So let's go ahead and do that now. Meet me in down dog. So now I would be on round 3 because I did round 2. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's take a nice big inhale here and exhale, reset. Next inhale, gaze comes to the top of the mat. Hop or skip your feet to meet your hands. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands come to shins or thighs. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind you. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms come all the way up, extended mountain pose. Shoulders are soft away from the ears. And exhale, forward fold, hands come down to mat, hinge at the hips, engage your core on the way down. Inhale, standing halfway lift. Squeeze your shoulder blades, gaze at the top of your mat. And exhale, plank, hands come down to the mat, take the half series of your choice. Maybe you lower halfway down. Inhale for up dog, untuck your toes. Exhale for down dog.
Ready. Yay, come on, Danielle.
Good job.
Thank
you.
How exciting. Good job getting in for an adjustment. Good job catching. That's such a normal thing to be like, oh, I was supposed to do this thing a second ago and I didn't realize it till right before you did too. So I would say for you, I'd go home and really try to, just like when you're popcorning and then you realize where your mistake is, and so you rewind and you get it down really well. You don't have to popcorn it, but like go home and just kind of be like, let's just make sure like you really like just get it in your brain, saying it out loud, getting it in that order so that we don't accidentally solidify to do it where you did today, since that was the second time you missed it. Let's see. But what a really great real life implication of like, well, what, so my thought process was like, well, you're not going to do it here while they're in halfway lift. Like, let's get them back to down dog and do it at the next place that makes sense. Or, sometimes depending on what you have forgotten, it's like, well, I guess we're not doing it that class. That one you're definitely one still get in. So, awesome. Okay, your filler word is like hour. It's not really filler word, but your thing is like hour, like our hearts, our things.
Okay.
So you're not doing it with them.
Okay. What should I use?
Your.
Okay.
Yours. Mhm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Great work. Okay, awesome.
And Carly, I really liked how when you're doing the half series demo, how you explain the difference between like cobras and back strengthening stretch. Pose and then oh yes. I just like that explanation. I thought like it removed the hierarchy of poses. So good job.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I know. That's why I chose to do that, because I feel like I always tried to do up dog because I saw it as like the higher pose. So then when I realized the other difference, I was like, oh, that makes sense. So thank you.
Also, if today at any point, like before you start teaching, if you have any questions that you want to talk out, do that. Do you have any questions you want to talk out, or you feel
Well,
good?
my question was, did anyone opt out because only?
No, we're good.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Only like you.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, like my adjustment like wasn't the best, so I just like don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. I was like, no, did anyone opt out? And
No,
I was
you're,
like,
oh no, thank you for asking. I would have said something if someone had.
So I just,
Yeah, cool.
okay, let's go ahead and meet the down dog. Right leg lifts.
Not yet.
Do we have to do the halfway?
So before we get into the warrior dance and do something to like really open the legs, we want to strengthen the legs first with a really annoying pose that helps to warm them up.
My brain, it's downward dog. Do we do forward fold?
Mhm.
Yes, we do forward
We
fold.
come to forward fold, that's getting us closer to the pose.
Sure.
Yeah, you got it.
Thank you. Okay, so downward dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale. Chair. No, or is it halfway lift?
You got
Okay, okay. Inhale, halfway lift. Now I'm like so I want to do exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair. Uta. I want to say Utkatasana, but it's not. Is it? Thank you. Utkatasana. Drop your is it drop your pelvis like you're taking a seat? Hands lift up to the sky, or you can bring them up to center. Heart center. Take some connecting breath here. And your next exhale, forward fold, or up. Forward fold. Inhale, high to low plank.
Okay, so imagine this is just like a sun salutation. You're copying and pasting a sun salutation, except you replaced extended mountain with chair pose.
Okay.
So there's something that we always do when we're coming up, and then something that we always do when we're coming back down before the half series.
Super. Head downward, forward fold. Halfway lift.
You got it.
Halfway inhale, halfway lift. High to low plank.
You got it.
Exhale, high to low plank.
Isn't there still like an extended mountain in Sun B before we can share?
No.
Okay.
Halfway, take your halfway series of your choice. Inhale, right leg lifts. Think of it like kicking the wall behind you. Square your hips. They're parallel to the ground. Exhale, lunge. Bring your foot in between your hands. Inhale, warrior two. Rotate your back foot to be parallel to the mat. Reach your hands to the front and back of the mat. Your gaze looks forward to the middle fingers of your front hand. Exhale, sit into your front lunge. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, extend it, mountain pose. Oh, side angle, sorry.
That's so common.
Your forearm comes to the front. Your forearm connects to your front knee. Your gaze is up to the sky. Inhale, reverse warrior. Tiptoe your hands to the back. Inhale, high to low plank. Tuck your hands to the right.
You got the movement right, but
It's
exhale. You got it.
And you can take the half series of your choice, meeting us at a downward facing. Inhale, left leg lift, taking that back wall. Exhale, low lunge, foot comes between your knees. Inhale, warrior two, rotate that your back foot, parallel to your mat. Exhale, sink into your lunge. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, revert, no, not reverse, extend the warrior two.
Extended side.
Oh, side. Exhale, reverse warrior.
No, leg. And then as you come back, warrior two, it's like you're turning a car. There you go. Oh. I can do those again.
Inhale, high to low plank.
Careful. Breath.
On your next inhale, exhale. And I was thinking about, and take the half series of your choice.
Awesome. Way to go. Cool. So on your way home today, I would honestly just say out loud, exhale, high plank to low, exhale, high plank to low, exhale, extended side angle, exhale, high plank to low. Just get those words in your mouth. Really great job. Good job balancing, like trying to get cues in and then also keeping the true like 3 to 5 breaths.
How can make sure that students know that I'm not just like making like when I'll be in the groove, right? Hopefully. How do I make sure that students know that it's me letting them sink into those breaths and not moving one breath per flow? Because we do say it on the second and third round, right? We go now one breath per movement. So for that first round, if someone doesn't know that that's what we're doing, how can I like remind them that that's what we're doing?
Yeah, that's a great question. You could And it's already kind of built in that you kind of pair some of these cues with the breath. So like after you've already held warrior two for a moment to be like exhale, sink a little deeper, inhale, glide forward, exhale, extended side angle. I think as long as, so you could continue to do that and be like inhale, warrior two, spiral your back heel down, arms extend out. I'm trying to think of any cues. Exhale, dig into your front heel. Inhale, look over your front middle finger. I wouldn't do it every cue. That would be too much. But you could just do a little bit kind of like emphasis with like them continuing to breathe with it. And then I think that'll kind of register in their brain like, oh, we're not flowing right now. But I think by virtue of the fact, ooh, okay, here's probably a better answer. The fact that you were just continuing to cue right there is going to be a sign for them. But if you turn your ujjayi breath up really loud as the teacher and as the adjusters really practice breathing today with your students, that's going to signal to them like, oh, like Vito's taking several distinct breaths during this time. So like obviously we're meant to be breathing here too and holding it into it. Yeah. Great job thinking through things, great job adjusting. Yeah, I would just go, you've caught yourself and you can't remember what you said the first time, but then you would say yours. So good job with that. Yeah, I would on the drive home practice exhale, extended side angle, and then exhale, high plank to low. But I like that you did high plank to low. All of you have done a great job this morning. Instead of exhale, cartwheel your hands to the mat, plant your hands, step it back, high plank, low plank. So good job getting the words out succinctly with that.
Thank you to everyone that helped me out.
Good job. All righty, Hannah, any questions?
Am I, like, this is like a cohesive class, so I'm not gonna give quite as many cues.
Right.
Essentially, as there, okay.
Yeah, so maybe sprinkle one in every other pose, but really still trying to get that one breath per movement down.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, we will meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, feet to hands. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Oh, inhale is supposed to be inhale chair. No, you got it. Oh, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Arms extend towards the ceiling, sit your hips down and back a little further. Option for arms to come to heart center here. On your exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank to low, chaturanga your way. Inhale for upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step it forward in lunge. Inhale, warrior two. Spiral the back foot down. Making sure that knee is in line with your front knee is in line with your ankle. Exhale, extended side angle. Forearm comes to quad or below knee. Top arm reaches for the sky. Maintaining length in both side bodies here. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Moving on to the breath with that. Inhale. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, hands to mat, head bend to low. Chaturanga your way. Okay, good with the pace on stuff. That's fine. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, back foot spirals down, warrior two. Sending energy through that front finger. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, chaturanga your way. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog.
Better with the pace on that side. Perfect. Yeah, keep it up.
Okay, inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, hands come to the mat. Chaturanga your way or skip it. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale for Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, hands to mat, chaturanga your way or skip it again. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog.
Hey. Yay, good job.
It's really hard to cue and also keep one breath for me.
Yes. So
So
yes, so at the beginning you were getting a whole lot of really great cues in, but you just don't have the time for it. And then you swung to the other end of the spectrum and you didn't give any cues. But I'm glad you got the experience of that because it's very real that it's like you had so many great cues and you had time for one great cue that you can get out of your mouth quick enough. And then so it's like you limit it to one. So if you're working on that in any of you, it's like, okay, I'm gonna teach the warrior dance 1 breath per movement, and I'm gonna pre-plan that I'm not gonna cue anything in warrior 2. Yeah, an extended side angle, I'm gonna cue you know, front hip spirals open, and reverse warrior, I'm gonna cue chest in your back heel. Exhale, hip length slow. And then to kind of think about it before and just be like, okay, and like make sure that you can say the things that you're pre-planning really quick and snappy. And then practice it with the 1 breath. So maybe go through your 1 breath per movement a couple times, just make sure you've got a good pace down. And then practice being like, okay, inhale warrior 2, exhale extended side angle, front hip spirals open. Inhale reverse warrior, kick into your back heel. Exhale, high plank to low, just to practice because it's really difficult. But you did great. Like I saw, it felt like you things were happening in your brain in real time. So it was really
I
cool to
was
see.
watching Vero actually because you were like my like point in the room to be like, okay, am I going too fast? Am I going too slow?
Mhm.
And if you were keeping up with what I was saying, then I was like, all right, I'm good. Is that a good strategy?
Yeah, that's a great
To have a
strategy.
person-
Mhm.
I really
Thank you for being that for me.
I really like how you were like, do your half series of your choice and then you would do the inhale upward.
Yeah.
Exhale down dog, because I didn't do that. So like I was like, oh, that's such a good thing that you did. So yes.
We're
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Really great job. You did a great job. Real, yeah, that's just what you're like. It's also weird when you're adjusting and you're not the one teaching. And that's just, I adjusted for years in both Austin's and Kristen's classes on and off. And even like as an experienced teacher, it's just still, I mean, I did it to Katie where I went in and I was like, no, we're moving on. Because you're just not in the teacher's brain. So like part of that is just normal and never gonna go away. Part of it will get easier with time. And also you're learning really valuable lessons right now. Like, where do I stand?
Yeah.
Where do I need to stand? So adjusters, you're breathing with your students and you're also thinking, yeah, if I got them on the right side and I'm also able to get them on the left side, where do I need to be positioned so that I don't have to waste that valuable time walking around and then you've missed the pose, something like that. So way to go. Good job. Alrighty. Kick us off. So let's think we've got 4 core things. You can use my mat up here if you want, or you can use yours. 2 of them you can adjust. Who's gonna be Kelly? Do you know the 2 that you can adjust in core?
The boat pose and the bridge.
You got it. And then Sam, you can, yeah, okay.
So downward dog for everyone, come find a comfortable seat on your mat. And come to laying down on your back. We are setting up for Supta Baddha Konasana, which are yogi crunches. So in this posture, bring the soles of your feet to touch and your knees out wide. And then support the back of your neck with your hands with your elbows out wide. Take an inhale to prepare, and then exhale, lift up, your chest comes towards the sky.
Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Keep going at your own pace, keeping in mind that we want our gaze to stay up towards the ceiling. So we're not crunching towards our feet, but instead really lifting our chest upwards. If your back is not staying flush with the mat, you might try bringing your knees in closer together. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. We'll do 2 more. And whenever you're done with your round, you can release and then come to the mat, taking a big good morning stretch. Feet can extend out long, and your hands can come up above, stretching through your spine. Good catch, thank you. All right, come back. And now we're going to be doing some bicycles. So bring your knees in towards your chest and return your hands to the back of your neck. Try to keep your shins parallel with the floor. If not, again, trying to keep your lower back flush with the mat. You can bring your knees in a little bit closer to your chest. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, return to center. Exhale, twist to the left. You can keep your knees in the center, or if you'd like, you can extend one leg long while the other one stays bent. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. And when you're twisting, try to bring your shoulder to your opposite knee instead of your elbow. Do 1 more on each side. And then release. You might try, let me think, sorry. You might try windshield wiping your legs side to side or rolling on your spine, and then come find a seated position. We're now going to set up for boat pose, Navasana. So in boat pose, bring your legs in, your knees in towards your chest and your heels towards your glutes, but they don't have to come all the way to touch. Really find a tall, lengthened spine here. Your hands can come to the back of your thighs for support. And we're really sitting or focusing on the front of our sit bones here. You'll feel a lot of core engagement in this posture. You might even try maybe lifting one of your toes or one of your feet off the ground, maybe the other, or maybe both of them lift as your arms come to the side. Find steadiness here and breathe. Good. Exhale, release. Great job, everyone. Okay, and then lastly, we're setting up for bridge pose. So come back to laying on your back 1 more time. Bring your heels in towards your glutes. Your palms are facing down on the mat and your fingertips are coming towards the heels. Maybe they even brush your heels. In bridge, it's very important that you keep a neutral neck and that your gaze stays up towards the ceiling. Press down into your hands here, and on an inhale, raise your hips up. You can find a bind or half bind here by clasping your hands together and really using that as leverage to keep your hips up higher. Keep your gaze up towards the ceiling. And on an exhale, slowly lower and release back down to your mat.
Yeah. That was really gonna want to end a yoga class with that now. The end. Okay. Great work. Really good job. A really great knowledge of the mechanics in it. Really great job sprinkling cues in throughout. I think you can probably make it just like the teensiest bit quicker in the transitions, but that'll come with time. So awesome. Way to go. Yes. Okay. Great job with those adjustments. All right, first half of right crescent on the right leg.
Trying to do it like opposite the whole time, so that was like a game changer.
Okay. Any questions on crescent?
Off the top of the bat. So
Okay,
like,
great. Cool beans. And you're up to
We
just.
all come that together.
Great job, everyone. I'm proud. It doesn't matter that I'm proud of you. I hope that you're proud of yourselves. Also, I am proud of you.
All right, everybody, we're moving into our tracking series. Please meet me in a downward facing dog. Let's take one connecting breath together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right leg lift. Echo Pada Makha Svanasana, three-legged downward facing dog. Here, it's important to keep your hips square. Your back foot will reach towards the back wall. Almost pretend you're putting a stamp on it. Exhale, feet come through hands, low lunge. Can take a couple moments here to surf out your lunge. Pressing the weight forward and backward, just some natural organic movements that feel good to you. Your back knee can be on or off of the mat. On your next inhale, hands will come overhead to crescent lunge. All of your toes are pointing forwards. Your hips remain squared to the front of the room. Exhale, hands together to prayer. Exhale, bow forward, finding length in your torso.
So we had exhale and then inhale.
Oh, okay. Inhale, bow forward. Exhale, revolved crescent. You will turn towards your front knee. Shoulders and elbows are stacked. This is a balancing pose, despite both of your feet being on the floor. For additional balance, you can think of moving your legs further apart. On your inhale, think about lengthening your torso. And on your exhales, think about twisting. Can you twist just a little deeper into the pose? So inhale, extend. Exhale, twist. Last one. Inhale, extend. Exhale, twist. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, hands come to the inside of your foot. Your front foot will wiggle up into the front corner of your mat, lizard lunge. Here you want to make sure that your back leg is straight so you can peek over your shoulder to check on that. Your front hip is pushing forward and out. This is a really big hip opener, so you'll probably feel that. You can stay on your wrists if it's available to you. You can also move forward and shift to your forearms. If you are shifting your knee out and your foot begins to come off of the ground, think about keeping that foot flexed, just like you'd be standing on the ground. You want your feet to remain in that alignment. Couple breaths here. Can you breathe into wherever you're feeling tension in your body? On your next inhale, come to plank pose. Exhale, hold here for a moment. Inhale, your left hand is going to come to the center of your body and a little forward into side plank. You have lots of options here with your legs. They can stack, they can stagger.
Your bottom knee can kickstand to the ground. You can be on your arms or your forearms, so lots of fun options here. Exhale, plank. An optional half series of your choice here can lower down to the belly or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog.
Hey, great job. All right, y'all can come on down, check it out. How did that feel for you? Yeah.
Over me.
Uh-huh.
I think pretty good. It's nice to be able to watch them, especially in the side plank. Because I'm like, oh, okay, now they're like really shaking. Probably want them to shake for a minute. And it's like, okay, let's get out of that
Yeah.
now. So that was helpful to like see.
Great. Yeah, really good job like being present with like how long you're holding things. And then I think this is true of kind of everyone that we've seen so far today in terms of starting to use your discretion of like, you know, do you want to surf it out, that lunge here after we've already done a whole lot of lunges, or is it more about really getting to the pose? And just kind of watching some of those transitions. This one has a lot of little teeny tiny little like transitional cues and just really specific details to watch out for and a lot of safety cues. So really great job with that. Something that's helpful to just consolidate what you were saying of like bring your hands underneath you and then up forward underneath your face. Should ideally get it both center and then forward a little bit so it can be a little helpful.
Thank you.
Thing. Really, I was like so delighted. You were just really doing a great job of like looking around and being like, what do I need to adjust? And being like, can you move your foot here? Can you move your foot here? Can you move your foot here? And then settle with the adjustment. Something that you can do with lizard lunge assist. So we're kind of, have you heard like the motorcycle revving from me or anyone else with certain, okay, I'm saying mixed responses. So with like anytime you're doing external hip rotation, warrior two, lizard lunge, I kind of think about like riding a motorcycle. I've never actually done that before, but I imagine in my imagination this is what you do. So when you're doing that, what you can also do, let's say that my student is right here and this leg is opening and I'm motorcycle revving it open. I'm going to take my leg to the outside of their leg. Once they're already in the shape, I can apply that movement and the muscle, if this is their leg, the muscle is going to move and they're going to be able to feel that sensation. But my knee braced up against their thigh probably, or maybe their knee, is going to stop me from accidentally pulling their knee way out here past where they're actually able to go. So you can think about bracing like here on theirs once they're in the shape and then do that motion. Make sense? Okay. Alrighty. All right, Jordan, take it away. And then Katie, you're on deck.
Do a downward facing dog. Take a couple connecting breaths here. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale into lunge. Inhale, crescent. Bring those arms nice and tall. Spiral your pinkies in like you're holding a giant beach ball, if you will. Really ground into your foundation. Your legs here will be sitting here for a little bit, the next couple of poses. Take your hands to heart center if needed. Exhale, revolved crescent. Take your elbow to the Inhale, lengthen your torso forward. Exhale, revolved crescent. Elbow to your thigh.
Okay.
Inhale back to crescent. Arms nice and tall again. Exhale down into lizard lunge. Heel toe your foot out wide. And you can bring your hands on the inside of your foot. It's within your practice today. You can also drop down to your elbows to get a little bit deeper of a stretch. Feel free to drop your leg outwards. If you are going to do that though, please make sure to have your foot flexed for safety. A couple more connecting breaths here. And your next inhale will come to plank. Exhale, just hold it for a second. Round into your left hand, place it roughly under your face, and rotate up for side plank. You can also come down to your elbow if this is not within your practice today. That is completely fine. Know there are modifications that can be made. Good. Yeah, sorry. Hold it, guys. While your teacher figures out what to do. Exhale, come down to your chaturanga. And then flow through your half series.
Awesome. Okay, good job. How did that feel for you?
A little better than I thought. Honestly, I hate speaking. It felt okay. I know that I need to work on like the transition, like the cues and stuff. I was really trying to like get into this habit of like letting, like the idea of letting the students lead the class, where I'm like, okay, if I'm seeing that somebody isn't flowing through or somebody, you know, like maybe then I give that cue or that modification or whatever, if I see someone struggling. So just trying to remember, honestly, the cues, transitional cues is my biggest thing, I feel like.
Okay. Yeah, it's this tricky thing with letting students lead the class. Like we want to be paying attention to them, like you were doing such a good job with your adjustments. And then giving cues based off of what we see. And also think of yourself like a conductor, like you are. So if we just had like, okay, let's use the hot series for instance, since it never changes, it's always the same. If we said, hey, all hot yoga people, you can just come in and at 9 o'clock start the hot series, and by 10 o'clock you'll be done, and we're not going to teach it, you can just come in and do it by yourself. Everyone in there, even though they'd be doing the same poses, they would be like, one person would be doing it a little bit quicker, one person would be doing a little bit slower, they wouldn't be like breathing together type of things. And the same thing can kind of happen in vinyasa, where everyone's in their own very like individual practice. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And also the days where you are able to really like take the reins. And I don't know why. I think it's because of the breath that I really come back to this idea of like being a conductor. That's like, if we can get people moving together and like breathing together and being on the same page energetically, then it's cool because we're doing this very internal practice, but we're doing it shoulder to shoulder with people. And so it kind of just creates this like feeling that you can't get by doing yoga by yourself. So you'll just find that line of like, you know, get your transitional cues down really well right now. Get your cues in your back pocket so that when you see it, there's the knee, I know a cue for the knee, you've got it. So that, yeah, you can use all of those individual tools to build. It's the thing that's like, what is it, that phrase where it's like the parts are greater than the whole yeah, what all put together, all of this is going to create something more magical than just cues, adjustments, poses. It's going to create a whole experience. So yeah, I would keep I want to try popcorning.
Okay.
If you haven't in a while, and really speed that up. All right. Okay.
Heart rate
Second,
down.
where are we at?
Press.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Utkatasana. So Katie and then Megan, you're on deck to adjust.
That's such an active adjustment.
Oh, and you're doing both sides of Utkatasana. Okay.
Okay.
All righty. I would cut out the half series in the middle.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Okay, just halfway lift from gorilla.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Take it down, dog. I might sound a little winded. No.
Talking like a true yoga teacher.
Literally. Okay. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, feet to hands, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Sink into your chair pose here. Eagle on the right side. Plant into your right foot. Equal weight distribution between both heels. Sweep your left leg over your right leg for a bind. Sweep your left arm underneath your right arm, palms to touch for a yogi bind. You can also take a yogi hug here, and you can kickstand the foot from this position as well. Lots of variations, but sink into that chair. Lift your back towards the back wall. Try and imagine a nice straight line with your back. This pose is all about compression, so really squeeze your arms together, squeeze your legs together. Fire up that Ujjayi breath. In through the mouth. Out through the legs. On your next exhale, arms come up high for extended mountain pose.
What do you think that breath is?
Inhale.
There you go. Yeah. Inhale.
Inhale, extended mountain pose. Rooting in through your feet, thinking tall, tall, tall. Exhale through the heart center, forward fold. Gorilla pose. Take your two peace fingers, wrap them around your two front toes, or if it's accessible to you, put your hands underneath your feet, toes to touch the wrists. Weight is evenly distributed in your foot. And bend into your knees here, lengthen through your tailbone. Exhale, bend, pull. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull, pull, pull. Inhale, lengthen through that tailbone like a down dog. And inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utkatasana. Sink into your chair again. As low as you can make it at your lowest point. Eagle pose on the left side. Weight comes into the left foot. Right leg lifts and wraps over your left leg. You can kickstand here, of course. Wrap your toes around your calf. And sweep the left or the right arm underneath the left for another yogi bind, or take a yogi hug, grabbing your shoulders. Coming back to that compression, really squeezing in. Think about a nice squeeze and also lengthen through the back, pressing the back towards the back wall, nice and tall. Coming back to your breath here. Tall, tall, tall. On your next inhale, extended mountain pose, hands come up to the sky, shoulders drop, a couple connecting breaths here. Exhale, hands through heart center, forward fold. We're about to set up for crow pose. Do you guys want me to demo it?
Yeah.
At your own risk? Oh, you do? Do the opposite of what I do. No. Okay. So crow pose. Let's start with our feet. We're gonna build from our feet to our hands. So come to a nice squat. And heels kind of touching your butt here. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Make sure that your hands have a nice 45-degree angle turned out like you're opening up a can of jam. Press into your fingers here. Your knees and your shins will press into your triceps. And from here, you may lift one foot. You can lift the other. But don't forget to tuck your chin and round your back like a cat. Always maintaining a forward gaze towards the top of your mat. No somersaults here. And once we've really built this pose, your crow may take flight, it may not. Mine is still learning to leave the nest, so.
Okay.
Oh no, I looked up, I was like, hey, why didn't you say take flight? Optional hazard here, super optional. Mama needs dog pose. I'm still my heart rate is so nice.
Do you mind if I talk about it? Is that okay? Okay. So Katie's like, my heart rate's still high from just like everything that happened this morning. And it's like, yeah, and that is real life sometimes. Sometimes you're like, hey, maybe I shouldn't teach yoga right now. Gonna like get a sub. And then also there are times where you're like, well, I'm teaching anyway. And also I think sometimes those are the best classes. Speaking from someone who's gone through an immense amount of grief in the last year, the best classes have been born out of those really difficult times. And so as you go, you'll just kind of start to gauge, yeah, do I try to show up today? Do I not? But like, I'm so proud of you for like getting up and like being like, I'm still really worked up and I'm going to do this. And I never felt from you when you're really worked up like that, it's easy to let it be about you and or to put that energy on the students. And I never felt that. I felt like you were really like calm and focused and present with them and that it was about them. And that's a really great frame. Like as you're finishing up the sequence and getting prepared for teach out, like who expects to be nervous at teach out? Great. So what my advice for that is that you can start really practicing now, especially when we're doing more round robin and stuff. And like, you're like, well, I don't like talking, but I guess I got to say this in front of a room full of people. Or adjustments, right? It's like, come back to always like, are you giving your students a good practice? Because if that's where your focus is, it's going to make it a lot harder to be focused on your own anxiety or your own ego. And I don't mean that in like a bad way, but just like the things that are going on in your own life. And you know, when it's teach out day, like you all know how hard you're working and you've seen each other go through hard things and to grow, and you'll trust that all of the extended students who are going to be with you on that day, they've gone through the same journey that you have. And I think sometimes they have it a little bit harder in the sense that no one is forcing them to be here at any certain time. They just have to, like, they keep showing up over up to 3 years to get this done. So, you know, if you're paired with an extended student or if you're paired with, you know, each other, of that, like, okay, I'm really just going to focus on like letting the cell be celebratory and a good practice for you. And then that's going to get you a little bit help out of your own stuff. But really great job, because yeah, I didn't need to say that to you. You just were a master class in that. So, chair, eagle, gorilla. Oh, I have one tangible thing. So you do kind of that like halfway lift action in gorilla and then you fold and things like that. So just when you're like done with the very end of it, say something like release your hands, inhale, standing halfway lift, or like release your hands, a real standing halfway lift this time, because in gorilla sometimes I'll say it's like a mini halfway lift or something like that. So just to make it really clear that like, yep, we're all done now, moving on. So awesome, great work. Okay, all righty. Megan and then Renata, you're on deck to adjust. Okay. you have any questions? Anything you want to talk through?
No, we're gonna find out.
All right.
Everyone can meet in a downward facing dog. Once you're there, take a connecting breath. Maybe you find your Ujjayi breath again if you lost it. Notice how you feel now versus compared to your first downward dog. Inhale, your right leg lifts. Poise. Your toes are pointed to the mat. Exhale, pull it through low lunge. Inhale, rotate your back foot down up to warrior two. Exhale, straighten your front leg. Your front hip pushes back towards the back of the room. Reach forward like you're trying to touch the front wall. And once you've reached as far as forward you can, your front arm drops to the bottom, top arm lifts to back arm lifts to the top. You want to make sure you're feeling the stretch in your side body. Don't compromise the length on your right side. Inhale, extend, exhale, twist. Great use of the blocks. Inhale, lift torso, coming up to 5-pointed star. Your toes are pointing towards the long edge of the mat. Engage your core, hold from the hips, wide-legged forward fold.
You might have said it and I might have missed it. Where's your toes supposed to be pointing?
Towards the long edge of the mat. You can grab your ankles, maybe you reach your hands behind you. Maybe you do a little wiggle. Bend into each knee. Release the stress in your neck and your back. Just hang out for a second. Inhale, halfway lift. What's next? Point your front foot towards the top of the mat. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, hold. Exhale, high plank to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog.
Oh, that was it. Great job. The end. Awesome. Good. Come on down, friends. Great way to go. You had a lot of really descriptive, like your cues were just very intentional and focused.
I forgot the ones.
But like they were the same ones in the manual, but worded in a way that just felt very authentic to you.
Okay.
So, yeah, way to go. How did it feel for you?
Fine. I'm really nervous right now. I don't know why.
For whatever reason.
Yeah.
Oh, the only.
Oh, sorry. It's going really slow. I don't know.
Well, how do you guys feel about it?
Okay.
Yeah, I thought your pacing was spot on.
Okay.
Yeah. The only like little like technical thing. So, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and then you have the next pose was warrior two. So just
Yeah.
like you can do an inhale, halfway lift. I think technically in the manual it's like rise all the way up. Do you think it's okay to add in a halfway lift here?
Gotcha.
Absolutely. So you could do inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold, inhale, 5-pointed star, exhale, warrior two.
Okay.
So it's a like little technical thing. Yeah.
Like, your voice is so soothing.
Mhm.
All I wanted to do is very.
Renata, any questions?
Can I read this sequence and try to do the cues by
Yeah.
memory?
Which do you feel most comfortable with right now? The breath and pose or the cues?
I feel like the cues,
Okay.
but it's still like not perfect.
Okay, yeah, so I would say read your sheet for like the breath and pose, and then try to get like one cue out, or however, don't put a ton of pressure on it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
For it.
And then Beth, do you want to adjust?
Yes.
Okay. And you learned these adjustments?
I'm sorry, what are we doing?
Triangle.
Yeah.
Interpret a chant.
Love the confidence.
Right. Let me know what support you know.
So find your way to downward facing dog. Left leg lift. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, spin your back heel, warrior two. Exhale, straighten front knee. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, triangle. Your forearm or your top forearm on your front knee. Inhale, lift torso, rotate front foot. Feet pointing to the corners of your mat. Exhale. Got this. Inhale, lift torso to 5-pointed star. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, hold. Exhale, your half serious. That's it.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah. Exhale, downward facing dog.
Yeah, exhale, downward facing
Awesome.
dog.
Good.
But I'm still like really lost with this sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, great job giving it a go, even though you're like, I don't know what's happening. How did that feel for you?
Good, but it's still like I feel that I'm like reading too much and not actually present
Yeah.
in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I feel like practicing more would be better.
Mm-hmm.
But when I see like people moving, it helps to know what they should do.
Good.
But at the same time, I feel like I don't have time enough to give all the cues.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's okay because you don't need to give them all. But you did a good job giving the ones that were necessary and then letting there be, you know, time appropriate in the pose and moving on. So yeah, you know that, yeah, you just need to find time to put in the practice. But since you haven't been able to, like the fact that you're like up here and like giving it a go and remembering some of those cues off the top of your head is great. So way to go. Awesome. Okay. All righty. Okie dokie. Any big questions about the sequence that came up through that? Or not big questions, just questions.
I have a question about the Sun B.
Okay.
Because like it moves really fast. So the teacher in class will have time to adjust people, or you just like talk.
No, yeah. No, oh no, you're gonna adjust. Yeah.
If it's moving really fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, I think Sun B is a gold mine for it. I almost never don't adjust Sun B because it's really easy. So let's say that you all were standing up. You know, inhale, right leg lifts, exhale, low lunge, and I'll be with Megan for this side, and then this side, and then the second round. I'm just gonna get myself in place, and I know that, you know, Kelly's right leg is about to lift, so I'm just inhale, warrior two, I'm here with her. Other side, and then I just move down the line. Right, round three, I'm on this side because I know that's the light. Because it moves fast, you can't waste time being like, A, who am I gonna adjust? And B, oops, their other leg lifted. Oh, now they're already okay. I'm done. So just getting really good at being like, where do you need to be? So when you practice teaching, really getting yourself physically set up. Yeah. I mean, I would aim to, I try to adjust literally the entire class. So just get on in there, practice that now. And it's all on one person right now, but real life applications, you're walking around trying not to get kicked and you're like, Yeah, Eva and Kelly.
I have a follow-up question based on that. I guess like when we're kind of going in the order, like around the room, and
Mhm.
adjusting people, how do you balance that with like also just making sure that everybody is safe?
Great
Like what if I'm
question.
like, okay, to Kelly, here's back, and I'm about to adjust Jordan, but then I see someone else, like their alignment looks off, but also they're not there that long, so how like
Yeah.
it stresses me out about
Okay.
adjustments the most is like,
Yeah.
is everyone okay?
Yeah, really great question. Yeah, I do sometimes I'm like, well, shoot, now I'm just staring at like there's my student and then the wall and I can't see the people behind me. Sometimes you're able to like look a little bit and sometimes you're not, but also trust that you're about to do it again on the left leg and then that you'll be facing the whole room. If you're going down the line and then you're like, ooh, but yes, this person over here, I see something, great, go get them and then come back. Or though that scenario of like, oh, I see that person, but we're not here long enough for me to go over there and get to them. Can you verbally cue it? And that be like, ooh, okay, I see a knee thing, and I'm gonna try to adjust, verbally adjust the knee thing. Or, and maybe you try that round, maybe you try the next round, maybe you try to get them in that pose later on in the class. There's just a lot, it's just a lot of different options available to you. And also, then there's going to be you're like, and the knee thing, and the knee thing, and I tried verbally adjusting the knee thing, I tried getting to the knee thing, I couldn't ever get to the knee thing, and then they went home. And that happens too. And hopefully they come back, and hopefully one day they do teacher training so that they can learn about the knee thing. Yeah. Oh, Kelly.
Okay, my question is a little random. I've been to classes in the past where like in the beginning, the teacher will be like, so is there any like problem areas in your body today? So are they so advanced in their teaching that they can like throw those in? Or like tying to the anatomy stuff and like being in all the planes and doing all the things that you can just be like, oh yeah, you said, shoulders and now we're doing something with your shoulders. Like that's kind of random, but I don't know why I was thinking of it.
Yeah, so two things could be happening here. It could be that they are, what I usually ask my students at check-in, a lot of times I'll ask them like, how are you feeling? Is there anything you want to work on today? Because it might be that I can do the whole sequence that I have planned and then also just add in some cactus arms for them. Or when I'm already doing bridge pose, I have something very specific I want to cue based off of the responses I got. To me, a lot of times that does indicate that the teacher has not planned their class, and that really bothers me. You can look at it as, are they advanced enough? And I think that some people do teach really well without a plan, and also ethically, to me, it's just a little, it doesn't feel good for me to do.
Oh, that's an interesting perspective. I've never thought that. I'm like, oh wow, they're really good. They're gonna like throw in all these things that we asked for.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I can certainly, I have the skills and the experience to go in without a plan and ask my students and then be like, oh, based on all of these answers, we're gonna do Birds of Paradise. And I've taught Birds of Paradise so many times that I can easily, but yeah, it just doesn't feel responsible. Sometimes it just has to happen that way, but I don't love it. Yeah.
Can not a better question, but not your question. Like the question of the instructor be like, do you need any adjustments today? For the students and like try to like get that adjustment in.
Oh.
Shoulders and like
Yeah, that to me does sound like a very advanced thing. Or you could ask the same thing of like, yeah, like what do you want to work on? And then that maybe influences not your sequence, but what you're adjusting with them. Good luck, because that sounds very difficult to remember. But if your brain works like that, then like, yeah, I think that's really great. I love the idea of asking people, like you could all probably ask each other, what adjustments do you want? And you could answer each other. Most of your students are going to be like, I have no idea. I was doing a workshop tomorrow that I canceled because no one signed up. Specifically for students of like, when we adjust you, what the heck are we trying to get you to do? Because some like you all have learned these adjustments, and so you know, oh, she's trying to spiral my front hip open and feeling length. And then some people though are just like, what's happening? What are you trying to get me to do? Or like I had someone in Shavasana once who afterwards they were like, I didn't know what you were trying to get me to do in Shavasana. And I was like, I was literally just giving you a shoulder rub. I'm not trying to get you to do anything. So just to have those conversations, because by and large, what I found is that students have no idea, a lot of them, what's going on. So that may be an advanced practice for the teacher, and it may be stretching your students because they may not know what adjustments they do need. But I like that idea and having that type of conversation with them.
I like the mindset that the adjustment means that you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like switch, like shifting that.
Yeah. With this whole idea of like asking, a lot of times when I ask people what they come in for class, they'll start to like list off body things. And I'm like, wait, no, like, what do you need from class? Like in here or in here? Because then that'll kind of help educate them and get them thinking of like, oh, I just showed up here out of autopilot. What am I actually wanting to get out of this? So okie dokie. Let's take 5 and then we're gonna jump in. So come back at 11:57, I think. No, days flying by. Y'all, really great job. I'm so delighted. Thank you for your vulnerability. Also, oh, yes, 10:57, not 11:57.
Wait.
Yeah. This is so fun. Thank goodness. Also, I'm sorry for anyone I adjusted because I forgot to put on deodorant this morning.
Is the front door?
I think it's open. If it's not, there's a doorstop
Okay.
you can put in.
Yeah. The safety reasons, but.
So Bet. Hey Bet. So Kristen said, so I don't know what the plan is. Just make sure that you touch base with Kristen. Because this is what I expected, and this is what she's saying, is that you'll do vinyasa with the next group.
Oh,
Instead of making it all up now.
okay.
But I don't know, just make sure that you chat with her.
Okay, I haven't, so
Okay.
I will.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, I missed some important stuff.
Yeah, you missed like 75% of it
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
So yeah, I want to make sure that you don't have to make all that up over video.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
I love
But
your
I'm glad you're
coffee, by
here.
the way.
Thank you.
I love the little tiny spider. I was like,
Yeah,
that's
that's the
gonna
newest one, and I'm so excited about it. Now I'm thinking about doing another like spider, like coming like out of these ones.
Yes.
But I'm like, I don't know, like hand stuff is just so, I'm like, how's it gonna age, especially with like fine line work. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But-
That finger one looks pretty good.
oh my gosh, I know. This is like almost 15 years old, and they told me they're like, you're gonna have to come in every 6 months to get this. I've literally never gone back once.
Oh my God, it looks perfect.
I think I'm like, it honestly looks like it does right after I got it. It feels like I'm like, that's crazy.
And this one looks so fresh. I like that
Yeah.
one looks so perfect right now.
Thanks. Yeah.
They're all
This
really
one's like
nice.
probably 2 months old now, but yeah.
Where'd you get it done?
Maria at Glory Badges.
Okay.
She owns it. She's so like she did my whole chest in 2 hours. Like I was like literally in and out in 2 hours. And I was just like, and she charges hourly. And I'm like, can I pay you more just for being quick?
Yeah.
It's like, you're amazing. Yeah.
Oh, I love a female tattoo
Yeah.
artist.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Renata is a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
Actually did my back piece.
Oh, that's right. A while ago. And then you guys, okay, that's right. I heard about that.
Yeah,
That's
so-
cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Some of her sweatpants that she wears in
Oh, I need to get prepared.
You've been too long to try this out. I'm like,
You got me the shirt I'm wearing today. It's sunny.
Did you all learn camel last week? Okay, great.
So,
Just double checking.
and today I'm celebrating my friends here. So.
I think about taking my mom here when she comes to visit me. I think she'd like that feeling. She do my routine with my mom.
I'll show you my invite because I got like a link.
Yeah.
And then that I have in Manitou. Okay. They're like connected and then there's communities. Yeah, and hopefully we get that.
I was thinking to your kids, people were, yeah, like, I feel like I have to be cool, and then I can write it to that, like, yeah, Canva. Yeah. Yeah.
That's not.
I wanted to go to school, I wanted to see my classroom. Oh, that's so cute. They're teeny.
Hannah, I was also gonna say my mom loves Manitou. Like,
Yeah.
it's like I just said a breed. She.
Yeah, it's like, my mom is the same. So I wanted to see my mom.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
Manitou.
So she doesn't like see my school, she hasn't seen it.
Oh,
yeah, that's fun one. But they're like, my little right there. Well, we don't have any, she came here for spring break, but I'm like, I just need to get the building fixed.
Do you not have a beeper that
Well, we set an alarm and there's a special like shut, I know, it's a whole thing, so I had to ask my principal and be like. Make sure I can get it, my mom needs to say that.
What that?
Alrighty, let's bring it back. All right, good. We've got about an hour and 15 minutes to get through these poses because I want to make sure you have enough time to practice teach it fully. I will also teach you through spine, hips, and surrender here in just a moment, but I'll wait till you're done eating. Okay, we have 3 animal poses in spine, hips, and surrender: camel, pigeon, and locust. What do you notice? You all learned camel last week. What do you notice about these? They're not, I guess, I don't know if a locust qualifies as an animal. What do you notice about these living beings? They get smaller. Yeah. So that's helpful to remember, like the animals, the order that they come in through Shavasana, they're getting smaller, which makes sense because Shavasana is like, we're just laying down and chilling. And so we're getting now really the bell curve of class, right? We started over here in integration, built that energy, got the lawnmower cord pulled, big power poses, focusing that energy, core, crescent, revolve, triangle, things. And then now we're like really starting to bring it back down to the ground. So, I'm not going to comment on those drawings. Spine, hips, and surrender. It is technically in the manual split out spine and hips, and in surrender, we just smush it all into one. It moves a little bit like integration did, where we're holding things a little bit longer, and I think when you're learning it, it feels kind of choppy, kind of like integration felt choppy compared to like flowing sun A or sun B, or even still like the flow that comes with some of the later parts of like exhale, hands to heart center, inhale, bow forward, exhale, revolved, things like that. There's a lot less of that like flowy. You can still make it all feel cohesive when you're teaching it. But it's just kind of be like a lot of like, and then this pose, and then this pose, and then this pose. So that means though that you have a little bit of leeway to start breaking the rule of like, we still want to get like breath pose cue out, but there are going to be, so like the camel is a great example. It's a weird, because you're like getting set up for camel. Inhale camel. And what I usually do is I'm like, all right, getting set up for camel, because I want to go ahead and say the name of the pose because that's going to help people get set up for it, walk them through knees, wrists, torso, all the things. And then I say the Sanskrit, I say like inhale Ustrasana, camel pose. That way I just don't have to say camel like back to back like that. Let's see, what breath do we go into camel on? And what breath do we come out of it? Yeah, inhale both ways. That's funky. Bless you. And then we take a pause, and you can offer restorative child pose, or they can stay seated, and then we get them back to downward facing dog. How about this? Was there anyone who would like to be a student and receive adjustments from me right now? Awesome. Hannah, thanks. Another time back. If you want to follow along and do the practice, that's great. If you want to watch, that's great too. But I'll put this all together for you. I'm probably not going to hold everything quite as long. I'll still give you enough time to let you see the effects of it, but just for time's sake, I won't turn this into a whole 15-minute ordeal. Okay, so imagine that we just did camel pose, inhale, release, exhale, take a seat on your shins. Option to take a restorative child's pose if you like. Fast forward. Downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, bend your knees, stack your hips. Standing heel continues to reach toward the floor. Sorry, dear. Think about squaring your shoulders off toward the floor. Everyone's so dramatic about this. And then you learn it, and then it's so much fun. Really squeeze me with your leg. Yeah, that's it. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, half pigeon. Right knee behind your right wrist. So your toes come out the other side. If they're pointed, or if your foot's by your groin, keep your toes pointed. If your shin is parallel to the top of the mat, flex your foot. That'll help protect your kneecap. Awesome. Now, walk your hands back toward you a smidge. Maybe gaze over your right shoulder. Let that help center out your hips a little bit. And then come on back to center. You can stay lifted here, or you can surrender down, sleeping pigeon onto forearms and or blocks. Just a little bit of a press in your front shin, help keep the muscles around your hip engaged. Two more, less pressure. Maybe wiggle your bottom jaw side to side. Oops. Plant weight in your hands, three-legged dog, shake it out behind you. In your manual, there is a half series here. No one ever does it. If your students are chomping at the bit, sure. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, bend the knees, stack your hips. Knee points toward the sky. Heel drags in toward your glutes. So really keep squeezing me there with it. That's it. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, half pigeon, knee behind your wrist. Toes are pointed unless your shin is totally parallel to the front of your mat, and flex your foot. And give a peek over your left shoulder this time. Let your hips center out a little bit. Come on back to center, and you can stay here, or you can lower down. More or less pressure on the side. And weight in your hands. Three-legged dog, shake it out. And set your foot down. Inhale, roll forward to high plank. Exhale, lower all the way down. Squeeze your elbows back, setting up for locust. Bring your hands down by your hips. Palms face the floor. You can find some space between your legs. Forehead or chin to the mats. Inhale, lift your heart, head, and hands. Option to lift your thighs as well, and then ride the wave of your breath. One more breath in. Exhale, release. You can bring a cheek to the floor. You can Yes, windshield wipering your legs except you. I got you. Shimmy your hips into the ground. And then come up to a seat, legs out in front of you. Setting up for a seated forward fold. So your legs bent as much as you like, but lift up tall out of your low back. And exhale, hinge from your hips. Lead with your heart. Same adjustment as a standing forward fold, really. I'm tilting the pelvis forward. I'm just using a different relationship to gravity here. Do you want more pressure on this one? Inhale, release, roll back up and then lower down onto your back. Setting up for supine twist. Happy baby first. Happy baby. You straddle your chest. You can reach anywhere on your foot or leg. You can stay right here. You can kick side to side. I would ask, does anyone here want a happy baby assist? Do you want a happy baby assist?
Yeah, show the class. That's really, really good. I've never gotten this. Are you pressing in my feet?
Just a little bit.
You got a funny face.
And squeeze your knees back into your chest.
Yes.
Keep hold of your right leg. Let your left leg go long on the floor. Exhale, supine twist. Draw your leg across your body. You can cactus or tee out your arms. Maybe gaze over your other shoulder. You can start to let go of your Ujjayi breath if you haven't already. Come on back to center. Squeezing both knees. Give your hips a little bit of a lift. So then we'll take it the other way. Right leg long, left leg draws over. Back to center. Take any last wiggles, movements, or poses that feel good to you. Otherwise, next up is Shavasana. Traditionally found on your back with your legs out long, but if that tweaks your low back, you can bend your knees and let them knock in. You can also rest on your side or your belly if you prefer. Take a soft breath in. Soft breath out. And I'll let you rest here for probably not a full couple of minutes, but I'll let you rest here for a couple of minutes, but I'll let you know when it's time. Moving really slow. I don't want any of this to be like stimulating. I've gotten some excited Shavasana adjustments before that I'm like, well, that was a nice massage, but I'm not rested, that's for sure. So I'm like, it's like I'm moving through honey. And I like to really take my time with just one person. Some people like to do like a little shoulder thing to like 3 different people. It's up to you. Wait and exit your space quietly and come back. On top of the mat, on top of the room rather. Take a soft breath in. And let it go. If you want to stay here and rest longer, that's great. If it feels like time to bring in some movements, you can start with wiggling your fingers and toes. Let those movements grow more until you eventually roll your way onto either side. Take a pause here. If there's anything you want to remind yourself of after today's practice, you can call it to mind. And then press yourself up to a seat. You can join me with hands at heart center if you like. Let's take a little bow to the power within you that you showed today. Thank you so much for joining. I will see you in, let's see, what do I usually say, Erica? All right. If you want to stay and rest longer, please do. If you're ready to leave, please exit carefully and quietly. Respect those who wish to stay. But I would love in the lobby for there to be some conversation. Come let me know any questions, comments, feedback, say hi to one another. And hopefully I'll see you back next week. Thanks, y'all. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so that's kind of how that goes. What types of things did you notice about what just happened there? Yeah.
I admit it, I had a conversation in Pigeon, whenever teachers say like, look over your whatever shoulder, I always thought that was to like, look at your leg. I'm like, I can't twist that way because it feels like I should be looking the other way.
Mhm.
But then when you said to square your hips, I was like, oh, that's why I would look over your shoulder. I always thought it was to just like look at your leg.
Yeah.
So that was really helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what that's for. Is, I mean, it's an asymmetrical hip opener. Your hips are not going to be totally square to the mat, but we want to get the muscles around them engaged enough that you're not tweaking SI low back stuff. And so, yeah, looking over that hip will do that. There is a cue in your manual that's like, check out your back leg, make sure it's coming out straight, make sure your ankle isn't sickled. And so sometimes we kind of pair those two together. Look over your left hip, check out your back leg, but then it's kind of over time people forget the actual purpose of that, and so that's really common. Yeah, or like they're like cueing you to like look over the wrong hip. So I'm glad you got onto that. Yeah, Hannah.
I was just gonna say something about the sickling and the ankle and pigeon, but I'm sure we'll get to it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, cool, awesome, cool. What other things did you notice?
Noticed your voice get quieter and quieter the closer we got to Shavasana.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of cool. Like I feel like the whole room got settled
Yeah.
with your voices.
Yeah, I'm not using my core voice in this portion of class. It's definitely a tool to help kind of guide things down a little bit. Along the same lines, was I talking a lot or a little once we were in the pose? Very little, yeah. A lot of these, there can certainly still be cues that you sprinkle in, and letting there be more time for less stimulation. And, you know, of course, safety things like that, things that you need to get them set up in the pose for, great. And then letting it be like chill. You all said you have music tomorrow? Oh, cool. Awesome. Good timing. No, I think Rebecca is teaching it though. So yeah, that's super fun because then you get to start thinking about too, like what, especially if you're talking less, what type of music do you want to be creating the atmosphere for you? Yeah, like I said, you know, it's quite a bit of this pose, then this pose, then this pose, but there still is that ability to let it be fluid and feel cohesive. Any questions before we jump in? Yeah.
So I've been told with investments, oven mitts.
Mm.
And I saw like a lot less oven mitts with these adjustments. Is that okay? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out what's, you know.
What was I've never heard oven mitts before, and I think I can guess, but what was the point of oven mitts?
So, I had Rebecca and Amy say
no like digits
Mm.
when I'm doing adjustments.
Mhm.
And that's kind of hard for me, and that's something that like when I'm thinking, like, oh no, I'm
Mhm.
falling somewhere weird. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
And there's some adjustments where I'm like, I have to use my fingers.
Absolutely, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay, so by and large, a lot of the times that we're applying more pressure, you're using like the base of your hand to apply that pressure. There are some that might, yeah, like around the rib cage is a good time. Like you don't really need your fingertips there, and that might be a good place to, we want to make sure that we're not getting grabby with our fingers. I hear and say a lot of like Barbie hands, think, you know. But like if we can keep our fingers together and then still use them, so like revving the motorcycle, yeah, you literally have to use these fingers. But if they're together, it still feels, it kind of mimics the sensation that you get in the palm of your hand. The palm of your hand is one, it's like a whole glacier of expansive skin to apply pressure to. We don't want to spread fingers wide and then apply pressure because it'll feel grabby, it'll feel ticklish. Fingers can accidentally go into nooks and crannies that they shouldn't be going. So keeping them together, then you can use them all as one to apply that pressure. So
Teach out wise.
yeah.
Like especially with like the legs and stuff,
Mhm.
you really do.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not no fingers. It's be conscious of how you use your fingers. Think together. And then, you know, that right there will get you far. But I would say, Katie, you know, just, I think you're asking the right question of like, when is it? I mean, I can't think of any pose off the top of my head that's like, don't use your fingers here. Even if you were going around the rib cage, like as long as you're evenly applying the pressure through your whole hand and using your fingers, that's okay too. As long as this can just get feeling not great, even forget, you know, weird energetic touching people things, but just like physically, like you're just like grabbing. Yeah, but no, you can absolutely use fingers. Thanks for clarifying. Yeah.
Steph Dandasana pose?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. What is it?
Yeah, I never said the word staff. Thank you. Good. I was hoping someone would catch that. There was something else too. I was like, oh, I hope I remember to say this. Oh, that's that downward, the three-legged down dog hip. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's start off with this. Yeah, I never said staff pose. There's not a page for it in your manual. It's really a transition. It's like come to a seat with your legs out ahead of you. It is you technically called staff pose. It didn't feel necessary to say that though. So you can if you want, but I think it's just going to eat up more time. So unless you're really wanting to focus on it for the purpose of let's hold here for a moment and really engage the core and then fold forward, cool, do that. But if you're just, you know, ready to get into your forward fold, just teach them into their forward fold. I used to think I was so cool as a new teacher. I used to think I was such a cool person. And then I developed self-awareness. Okay. No, okay, so we did locust pose. And then, okay, so the next thing is basically come up to a seat staff pose with your legs out ahead of you for a forward fold. I would be like, okay, we just did locust and release and switch your back around a little bit. Okay, moving on. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes, lift your kneecaps off the floor, engage your core, push into your hands, pivot onto one hip, swing your legs around. You can say come into a seat, and luckily they know how to do that. I feel like I've already told you guys this in another class. So rely especially on some of these, you know, transitions in the latter half here where we have an abundance of time. Hopefully we have 15 minutes, but we want that time spent wisely. You don't want to spend 5 minutes getting up to a seat. So rely on, yeah, come to a seat, come to your back, things like that. Let's jump into, yeah, this downward facing dog hip stretch. Did you hear me say the words downward facing dog hip stretch? Have you ever heard the words downward facing dog hip stretch? No, this can definitely be something that you just cue, and there's no breath pose cue to this. it is, I don't even know if it's like technically a pose. I mean, there's no Sanskrit for it, so but it's like a little thing that we can do to help lengthen some muscles to help prep us for half pigeon. So it is lift your leg, bend your knee, stack the hips are the transitional cues in your manual. You can absolutely, though, put some breaths with these, right? So it'll be inhale, lengthen your leg, exhale, bend your knee, stack your hips. Most people at this point around the studio tend to understand what this means. If you're teaching elsewhere or you're teaching beginners, they're gonna be like, I'm sorry, you're gonna be like, inhale, right leg lifts, exhale, bend your knee, and stack your hips. And you're like, you technically did what I asked, but that's not at all what I was hoping for. Or weird things can happen. I pull out in those times of need, it's like you're on a dog on a fire hydrant. That imagery immediately gets everyone on the same page. The purpose of this, so let's look at these cues. Reach your standing heel toward the ground. So a lot of times we kind of like spin it out. We want it to go straight down so that we're keeping everything in that leg stacked and a good foundation for the hips there. Keep shoulders square. A lot of times, wow, I just got dizzy. We really let this lift and we can get a cool stretch, and that's actually one of your modifications, especially if it's a lot of pressure on my left wrist at this point. I could drop it to the ground and I could really lean into this opening of my shoulders. It's not inherently wrong, but what we're looking for right now is maintain length in your spine. Okay. If I really squeeze my heel in and point my knee toward the sky, it's allowing for a lot of opening in my hip flexors here. And remember earlier how I was talking about, we're in kind of chronic fight or flight. When you think that tiger is coming for you, your hip flexors are like, hi, I'm here because I'm going to run you away from the tiger. And now I'm like, email. I have nowhere to put this running energy though. And so our hip flexors can get really tight. They also they connect, our whole torso to the lower half of our body. So if I were then getting eaten by the tiger, I'm gonna like curl myself into a ball defensively, right? So our hip flexors have a big responsibility. And unfortunately, they feel the weight of that responsibility. So we're giving them this opportunity to open and release and lengthen a little bit here. Let's see. Okay, cool. That's it. And then, so this was a inhale to lift, exhale, and then, Katie, so we inhale and come back to center before we exhale and bring it forward. So a couple of things that helps making sure if I were to just swoop my way there, it could tweak the low back a little bit, and it makes it more stepwise with the flow of like inhale, exhale. Yeah, does that answer your question? Absolutely. Cool. All right. I'll teach you through the adjustments in a little bit. Ooh, I should pull up my picture. Next one is half pigeon pose. Eka. Eka is one. Pada. Pada, does anyone know what pada means? Cool, yeah. Kapotasana. Kapotasana. Eka pada kapotasana. You got it. This is one-footed pigeon pose. Hold on, I'm trying to get this picture up for you to see. And so then begs the question, what is full pigeon pose? It's not a hip opener. Well, it's a psoas opener. Look at this yellow one. She's basically in wheel on her forearms and fins. So we kind of go into from here what's called sleeping pigeon, where the torso is laying down on the ground, and that's pretty common. How do you even get into that? I have no idea. I've never seen anyone do it in real life. I have a friend who I think could do it. But I've never seen it done.
Is that supposed to be camel pose or?
Nope, that's full pigeon. Yeah. Yeah, that's full pigeon. So, just in case for those of you who I always get that question. Okay, so our transitional cue. Bring right knee to your right wrist, right ankle toward the left groin or wrist. 90% of the time, people understand what this means in that your toes are basically coming out the other side, whether they're back toward you or whether they're the shin is parallel to the front of the mat. You'll see here, I can like get my hips on the ground here. This one of having the shin parallel is a much heftier hip opener. My hip used to get down there. It doesn't anymore. Every once in a while, you get more of like the thigh is right on top of the shin. It's not a hip opening, you're just on your thigh. And so that's where you'll really rely on that, like, and it might be kind of what Jordan did earlier when he was coming around. He was like, oh, move your toe here. Can you move your toe here? That might be a good, like, hey, can you move your toes over here? And help them get set up into that pigeon. But that's the why for that second transitional cue, right ankle toward the left groin or wrist.
Safety concern if they're on there.
If they're on their shin, it's not, I don't think, going to cause them any injury, but they're not getting the benefit of it.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's probably just not comfortable, I'm guessing. But here is our safety cue in this one. So circle, star, highlight this one. Front foot points. Unless your shin is parallel with the front of your mat, in which case you flex your foot. Do we know why? Ankle. Yes, that's something to do with your ankle and your knee. Yeah, those are the two big things. So I'm assuming we'll talk about this more in anatomy. So I'll just give you kind of the overview. Okay, in runner's lunge, y'all did a great job, Jordan and someone else earlier who taught it. You both said like, okay, if your knee falls out away from you in lizard lunge, keep your front foot flexed and activated. What that's doing here, because I have a 90-degree-ish bend in my knee, I want to keep, so I have two bones in my shin. If I flex my foot, it basically acts as a locking mechanism that keeps those two bones in place so that now, as I apply the external rotation, those two bones then keep the bottom part of my knee, your knee is kind of shaped like a little triangle. It's like flat down here and then it comes up to a point. If these bones in the shin move around, then it impacts things up in your knee. And so when you are in that 90-degree bend, so other options are, it could be half, what is this called? Figure four. It could be, I just had another one. Well, half pigeon, right? If we've got that 90-degree bend, doing this with your foot is going to lock those bones in so that they're not going to shift. So that again, when we apply that hip opening, then it's keeping the knee nice and snug as well. And then if your toes are pointed, if the angle in your knee is smaller than 90 degrees, if it's that acute angle, then you want your toes to point because that's going to give the bones the wiggle room that they need to make this safe in your body. So things would be like hot tree pose where you have that acute angle here and then your toes are pointed. Or if I were seated right now and doing lotus pose where I'm folding my ankle in toward my knee, I want the knees pointed or toes pointed. Oh my gosh. So yes, we like happy, healthy knees. Yeah.
I usually take half pigeon on my back.
Oh, great. Okay.
So with the
Okay. Yeah.
I usually do that kind of, I don't know if I should flex or point.
Yeah. So ish, what degree is your lifted knee?
Like almost 90.
Almost 90. Okay. So what do you think your foot needs to be doing then based off of what we just said?
What?
You got it. Yeah. Yeah. So it's supine figure four.
Thank you.
Yeah. Great question. Okay. Back leg straight from hips to toes. Sometimes we do get sickling in the back ankle. So imagine I'm laying down and this leg is back behind me. Sickling would be if my ankle were turned in like this. It's not something that's going to cause immediate injury. It could, especially if the person is hypermobile, like pull on the ligaments over time, and cause a little bit of instability in the joint. Yeah. And then we've got an adjustment for that one too. Okay, so our right leg is forward. Look over your right shoulder to square hips forward, just like we talked about. Lift your chest and lengthen your spine. And then the last cue is optional. Maintain length in your spine and lower down to your elbows. That's what we see 99% of the times, at least in the classes here, and call it like sleeping pigeon. But the option to keep your chest lifted, I'm gonna switch legs here. This is closer to like the traditional pose because the traditional pose is working the spine strength here. Because then you're eventually getting into whatever wizardry this thing was, right? So it's up to you in your class if you're like, yeah, I really want this to be more active and more about this is a great spine strengthener here. And I'm also really hugging my legs in toward one another. So I'm purposely lifting my hips up off the floor here as I find that engagement. If you're like, yeah, I really wanted to work spine strengthening today, maybe you teach that. Also, you're still going to have, no matter what you say, people are, at least half the class is going to go to Sleeping Pigeon because they like it. Also, for those of you who have low back SI stuff, I would recommend if you ever notice that if you think that pigeon pose exacerbates that, stay lifted. Okay, if I'm in sleeping pigeon, chances are, have you all talked about like the balance of effort and ease? Chances are there's no effort and there's only ease for the people who are comfortable to lower down into sleeping pigeon. Either that or it's peer pressure and it's all effort and someone's just like, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks. But they try to hide it. Staying lifted forces more engagement, which is going to help keep SI and low back stuff more stable. And then less, because this is an asymmetrical hip opener, it can just get stuff out of whack there if you're someone who deals with that already.
What is
Your SI joint, oh boy, that's a great question. Yeah, sacro something. Sacroiliac. It's around here-ish, so below your low back, but above like your tailbone. The thing with it, I'll let you talk about it more in anatomy because I'm obviously, this is why I quit teaching anatomy. I'm like, great question. It's two plates though, so you can imagine like my fists here and like my knuckles where those ridges where my knuckles are, you have ridges like that on your SI joint. And so basically if it's supposed to be here, sometimes it'll get out of alignment and it'll kind of shift down a click. Yeah. And just cause all sorts of fun low back adulting issues.
Can you fix that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, you can. Come talk to me afterwards. I've got a tip because I used to deal with that pretty heavily. Because I was just dumping into anything hip opening because I'm hypermobile and I'm like, I can do all the flexy things. And then I was like, oh, but I have no muscle to support anything anywhere. So, okay. Modifications, a block underneath your open hip. So if I have a student who is back here and they're not even thinking about lowering down yet, right? But their hip is like massively off the ground. Great. Slide a block. Thank you so much. You can encourage them to slide a block or two underneath that hip. And again, that's helping even things out to keep SI stuff snug and stable. Oh, modification, yeah, keep your torso lifted. And then just to reiterate it again as a big safety cue, we're saying it again here. If your lower leg is parallel to the front of your mat, flex your foot. And I do really highlight like this is a safety thing, or please, please, please do this, or tell them like this is to help protect your knee and I want you to be able to do yoga for a long time. Just something to be like, if they're just kind of zoning out, be like, hey, I'm trying to get your attention that this one's important. All right, how long do we hold here? 5 to 10? Okay. Alrighty. We'll do one more and then we'll break for adjustment. So the next one is locust pose. Oh, sorry. So let's back up a little bit. So the order of operations, right, is inhale, right leg lifts, exhale, downward facing dog hip stretch, inhale back to center, exhale, half pigeon, hold here, plant your hands, release. If you want to just go back to three-legged dog and shake it out, that's great. There is technically a half series in there. No one ever does it. Maybe for a power class, if your students are just like, yeah, but I need more, great. Same thing with teach out. No one is gonna blink an eye, bat an eye that you did this instead of a half series. But then we do all that on the left leg. So inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, bend your knees, stack your hips. Inhale back to center. Exhale, half pigeon. Still give all of this is one I just give all the same cues on the same side, left to right, because it's very methodical about, all right, we get into it. Is our foot pointed or flexed? Look over your shoulder, find some stability, maybe lower down. And then we release, shake it out. And then we are going to come forward to high plank and then lower to your belly. What do you think the breaths are going to be with that?
Inhale, plank.
You got it. Inhale, plank.
Exhale.
Exhale, lower to your belly. Setting up for a locust pose. So that's another one that I say setting up for. You might have noticed when I was doing this with Hannah, I taught it pretty methodically in terms of letting there be time. I could say, setting up for locust pose, bring your forehead or chin to the mat, hands back by your hips, palms facing down, maybe a little bit of space in between your feet. No one got any of that. So it's like, okay, hands back by your hips. It's gonna take a good second for everyone to start to do that. And then here's a nice thing, palms face down. The reason why, if you're sitting, you can feel this out with me. So imagine that the floor is right here, right? If we're getting into locust pose, this is kind of like a heart opener, spine strengthener, yeah? Look at my shoulder. I'm such a good example because my shoulders just roll in so much in life, and a lot of ours do as we live our lives like this. So we're kind of trying to counteract that. So imagine that this is the floor. Put the backs of your hands on the floor and notice what your shoulders do. And then now flip your palms the other way and alternate a little bit. Y'all really seeing and feeling when our palms are on the ground, that already helps open through the collarbones so that now when we lift up into actually locust pose, we're getting that benefit. Yeah. The things about okay, this is in your transitional cues. Legs hip width distance, they can be wider. We don't want feet together. It might be possible and comfortable in some people's bodies, but by and large, that is going to put pressure on the SI joints. So we want, as much as we're opening and squeezing all of the muscles along your backside body, having space between the legs is going to almost give everything that's compressing like wiggle room. You're not trying to compress and then force your legs together on top of it. Okay, so inhale, plank, exhale over to the belly, forehead or chin to the mat, doesn't matter which one, we're just getting into the shape, not looking side to side. Legs hip width distance, arms reach back besides hips. That's when I go ahead and already say palms face down. You can say it later though if you want, that's totally fine. Inhale, lift, torso, arms, and thighs. Locust pose. If you look down at the modifications though, one of them is to just lift your torso or just lift your legs. If lifting everything is too much, It can be like compression, usually especially in the low back, depending on what people have going on. Or it could almost be like your muscles are like cramping of like, wow, that's just a lot compressing at once. Um, Great, you can lift just the legs or just the thighs. So it's up to you. If you want to cue your whole class, inhale, lift everything, and then give them an option if that didn't feel good, maybe Control Z, put your legs back down, or keep your legs lifted and lower your torso back down. How I do it is like inhale, lift the upper half of the body, lift your chest and arms. And then if that feels okay on your low back, maybe you add on an inhale, lift your thighs. It's up to you how you want to do it. And or if you even want to give that modification. I do though think that that is a good one, you know, because a lot of these modifications, it's like they're just for your own benefit and knowledge, but this one is a good one to actually bring into class.
It's gonna sound kind of like a silly question, but when we're on our belly, building from the ground up maybe doesn't apply. So like you can start with the arms and everything like here before you start to talk about the thighs versus
Yeah,
your thighs.
yeah, because the whole basically you're laying on your, and you kind of got set up from the ground up with, you know, arms and legs just in position to even lift up. So yeah, not a silly question at all. Awesome. Hannah.
If students are gonna choose like to lift their upper body versus their lower body in locust,
Mhm.
does it matter which one
No.
to start with? It's
Yeah.
what feels good.
Yeah, great question. Okay, really great questions, y'all. Shalabhasana. Shalabhasana. That little line over the S, it's not a full SH. It's almost like a slurry, like you're drunk, like Shalabhasana. I just can't do it. Shalabhasana. Okay. Alrighty, let's pause there. Okay, find a partner that you're going to work with for adjustments, and then I'm going to be a group of 3 with one of you. So, yep. Don't start anything yet. I'll teach you through them.
Oh, no.
What did you say?
Oh, yeah.
No, because then we'll have there. You've got
Yeah.
yeah. Do that. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Eva and Vito, can I partner with you all?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So, let's all stand up, move to one of your mat. One of you is going to be the student first. One of you is going to be the adjuster first. And then, Eva, do you mind? Yeah, being the, okay, cool. So I'll show you this one in a little bit more depth and then I'll teach you through it as well. So Eva's gonna come, and from downward facing dog, lift her right leg. Okay, so if she's lifting her right leg, I want to be on this side of her behind her. So I'm going to let her lift her right leg, then bend her knee, stack her hip. I haven't even moved in yet. Now that she's in place, I'm going to slide in. My shoulder is going to work toward her knee pit, and this arm is going to wrap around for support. This hand, see how the shoulder is poking up a little bit? I'm just going to gently glide it down. I'm not pressing, it's just like a grounding. Now notice my knees. I'm pretty bent in my knees, right? I'm going to straighten my front leg and glide my weight to the back of the room. And now it's kind of like that traditional down dog adjustment. Even though you can really squeeze me with your leg. Yes, that's it. Okay, now inhale, come back to center. I'm gonna kind of keep my arm there for her to like balance back out on. And then exhale, release. Awesome. Cool. You can stop now. Okay, so this is one that everyone is always, and I heard the sounds earlier. That's normal. And then people are like, I'm never gonna do that. And then everyone does it by the end of the day and they're all like, oh my God, that was so much fun. It's one of my favorite adjustments. How did that feel for you?
Felt good.
Cool. Really helps people find length, helps them find more engagement in the leg as well. Vita, do you want to come and be, so I'll walk you all through it. So one of you start in downward facing dog. Okay, and then adjuster. We're gonna have their right leg lift, so you want to be standing to their left side. And I'll adjust first and I'll give you a chance. Okay, so inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, bend your knees, stack your hips. Okay, now that they're in, now you get into place. Elbow to knee pit. Carly, you may go over since you're so tall. You may go over the leg like this. There you go. I'll work with you more one-on-one in a second. All right, so we're wrapping your arm underneath. Other hand comes to either like at their heart or maybe on their right shoulder if it's poking up a little bit. Now straighten-ish through your front leg and glide backwards so you're still providing the traction of a normal downward facing dog. And then students really squeeze your adjuster with your leg.
Am I flexing my toes?
Ooh, it doesn't matter. Good question though.
Does that feel okay?
Yes. Okay, and then inhale, release, and you'll kind of let your forearm be there for support. Awesome, great. If you all want to give it a go.
For sure.
This one like,
So close to our face. We want to do it.
Let's do the other cabinet. I guess it's right.
How's that? Good.
How did that feel?
And then try to
Yes. Okay.
Is that okay? Yeah. Okay.
But yeah. And I'll if you try one there too, just so it's like.
Okay.
Did I come out?
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Oh, no, there were some.
I shot the screen. All right.
And her skin, I don't know. I did, yeah.
Try it on the left side if you haven't already, and if you need support.
Okay.
Are you gonna go through it again? Yeah. Yeah, I'll go through it again. Don't switch partners yet.
Was it, did you have a warrior too?
I don't know. I was just kind of warrior two goddess pose, mushy. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be that. I go more goddess pose. Yeah. So that's a difference. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you explain how kind of leg mode?
Yes. Okay. So
That's very good. No, my hand should be here. On the opposite side.
Okay. Okay. So I'm discussing.
Until
When it's time, I'm gonna let close this. And then I'm gonna say inhale, just back to center. And I'm gonna keep my body in the same place. Now you're stressing your thigh on my forearm. And that gets a little bit more movement, of course, there. Yeah.
I think I wanted to do this one. It's that right? It shows down dog. I'm on the right side, but it should have been right.
Usually there's one coming up.
Yeah.
Go for whichever one's coming up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or it was last leg, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I did this and then I was like,
Yeah. All look.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so come on back for just a second. All right. Cool. Okay. Can I demo one of you? Okay, cool. Alrighty, I'll have you do your right leg if you want. So before I have you switch the partners, you can go ahead and come into it here with your right leg, please. Unless you want to do your left, that's fine. So exiting. So exhale, bend your knees, stack your hip. Great. Okay, so I was here adjusting, I'm pulling back. And then I say, inhale, release. I'm going to go ahead and just remove this hand. The rest of my body is going to stay there because she's the one releasing, not me. And then I'm letting her thigh kind of balance on my forearm for just a little bit of support. Inhale, start your hips again or whatever it is. And then exhale, and that's when I kind of swoop out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I said exhale, release.
Yeah, inhale. Okay, great work. Okay, so swap seats with your partner, so other person on the mat now.
So awesome. Jeff, you got all of these?
Okay. So inhale, let's do it on the right leg just so we can all be standing on the same side. So inhale, right leg lifts. So adjusters, you're gonna go ahead and get into place on their left side. Exhale, bend your knees, stack your hips. Okay, I think you can do it. Yeah, go ahead. Slide your
Do it first.
once they're in position, slide your shoulder into their knee pit.
Yeah.
Okay. Other hand will come down to opposite shoulder. You've got it. Okay. Now say something like squeeze me with your legs. Squeeze me with your legs. Okay. Now also keep that your dog pose, bend your legs. Now you're straightening through your front leg. Bring your weight toward your back leg to provide that traction.
Erica.
Yeah.
Like
square. Yeah. Eva, you're really trying to be more right there. So you look great.
Like that.
Do you feel that? Yeah. You find it with your like. Let the shoulders drop. Okay. Try the other leg.
Okay.
Let them get into it and place.
And then squeeze me.
Alright.
And then do you want to draw on the shoulder?
So this hand's probably gonna come to this shoulder. Yeah.
And then
Yeah, sort of straighten through your front legs, more weight in your back legs to provide
pigeon.
So why don't we step this way a little bit? I just now to go more side.
Yeah.
Instead of like,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like this side I did better.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's okay. I think I would just say like, maybe like press even weight into because I noticed it on the other side. When I was like a pinch like guy in my back.
Yeah.
At my elbow. And so I was like, oh, I need to not put as much weight in.
What I said.
Do you want to have
Okay.
I want to. Is that okay?
That was like the front. Well, it's
yeah, you have it close.
Okay, so bring it back. Rather than so that would be good.
Okay, exhale. Inhale, release, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if I was doing.
Well, the other side. Did it feel
Exhale, bend the knees, stack your hips. The hand comes underneath.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, and then. How's that? Okay, then please.
Yeah, so provide first and then provide the traction. Oh, that's good. All right, so good conversation. So order of operations here. All right, so order of operations here. If you can get them to squeeze, hey, hi. If you can get them to squeeze your leg first, or sorry, squeeze you with their leg, then when you provide the traction, the whole point, I mean, yes, that squeeze does help activate certain muscles that are helpful to it. But if you're getting them to really hug you and hook you with their leg, then you have something leverage to apply the traction to because then you're still getting the traction of the normal down dog assist. But if they haven't hugged you yet, you could just slide off of them. I mean, you won't, not that drastically, but right, like you're really locking that in so that now when you pull, they're coming with you. Does that make sense? Okay, great job. Yay, look at you. Okay. Moving on to half pigeon. So whichever one of you, let's go ahead and yeah, one person comes into it with your right leg forward. Okie dokie, what's our safety cue here?
The parallel.
If your leg is parallel, then what happens?
Flex your foot.
Flex your foot. If your toes are pointed, where should your foot be? Towards your groin, yeah, okay. So, students, you can go ahead and lay down if you're choosing to. Yeah, block underneath the hip, cold beans. All right, so we're thinking more gentle hip opening. So it's not going to be full motorcycle revving, but it's going to be the idea of the little baby motorcycle rev. So I'm going to come down to one knee, rub hands together. I'm going to take one hand and start it on the middle of the sacrum to stabilize. And then my right hand is coming at her thigh, and I'm going to press down and rotate outward with it a little bit. So again, it's not a full motorcycle rev, but it's still that external hip rotation. And then check in. Do you want more or less pressure?
More.
Okay. Now, the people who have their thighs really coming out at a stark angle, closer toward their elbow, you're going to have more room to adjust. And so if you're like, I really can't get in there for the assist, great. You have another option, which is come back to the thigh or the calf. If their toes are sickled in, and I would communicate this, I would be like, Eva, I'm going to lift up your foot a little bit and help straighten it out. That way I'm just not touching your foot with no warning. And then a calf massage starting from the knee and work your way down and really talk about pressure, because give yourself a calf massage and realize how much pressure you actually need to affect anything. We live in Colorado. You'll feel it. But you need to give usually a bit more pressure than you want. Eva, more or less?
That's good.
Okay. Now, the calf adjustment, it's not bad, but the students come out of that whenever your guys are done.
Okay. I have a question.
Yeah.
I find that when I'm in half pigeon and my back leg is extended, usually my knee hurts from like just all the weight on it or pressure.
Okay.
So is there,
What do you think you could do?
I feel like I could fold the mat under, put like a blanket.
Perfect.
But is there something else I can or should do? Okay.
I think that's great, yeah. Okay, so the calf adjustment is nice when you're like, yeah, but I'm going in my circle and I just want to adjust this person, but you really can't access their thigh to do much of anything. Great option. I don't love it though when people go for it just because they're scared to do the actual, because like the whole point of the pose is hip opening. The calf massage is it's bonus. Or if you have a lot of time and you want to do both and help them really get into that gooey, relaxive space. But sometimes when I get the calf massage, I'm like, do you have any idea what's going on up here, y'all? Like, you're just kind of distracting me from the actual thing. So use it intentionally. Let's try the left side. So come on down to, kneeling, left hand toward the left thigh, right hand. Yeah, you go for it.
Do you want the block? I'm trying to think, because if I can't sit my
Left hand to left thigh, think
but
pressing
then
down.
this is so I don't know what to prioritize, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I typically do. Yes.
Pressure.
For sure. More pressure.
This one I would, if you have space, have your thumb be separate. Even though it's not full motorcycle, when your thumb is separate, it still gives you more leverage than having all fingers together. It's easy to accidentally slide off the leg.
Like, so that way you're, this is.
Ah.
And then you can. Like, kind of-
I will address that.
Yeah, that's.
You can, in short. Yeah.
So this is the grip, not this.
I do this most times,
Okay.
or especially where Eva is, because you couldn't, it's hard to get your hand. If her thigh was really out to the side more, you might have better luck that way, but either is okay.
Do you, when you're pressing it, right, and you're doing this, do you tend to like shift and move or just keep it? Okay. No, I'm not a massage.
Yeah.
So we do want this to open.
Yeah. Great question. Okay, so we've got two things to talk about. So let's bring it back for a sec. All right, so two things to address. We just what do we do once we start doing this hip opening? You have a couple of options. So a lot of times I'll like kind of like spiral it open, and then now my hand is on the outside of their thigh, and I'm like, well, I'm not done yet though. So you could continue to hold it there if it feels right. You might also just kind of start over with it, especially after you communicate, do you want more or less, and they say more. Then I might go back in again and really ground down and spiral open. So you could stay with that assist the whole time. You could do half the time up there, half the time doing the calf massage. You could hit two people and do whatever, you know. I was gonna say one other thing about it. Oh, okay, so front hand is pushing down and spiraling open. The hand that's on the sacrum, you can almost do a little bit of a pull back. And it's not drastic, right? But that little bit of down and backwards, kind of like child's pose, can really get yummy in there as well. Okay, we did both sides, so swap partners. Yeah.
So more or less pressure, you're just always referring to both hands. Because I said that's it, and then I was like, what?
Yeah, it's kind of the overarching. I mean, I guess you may need to clarify at a certain time if you ever feel the need. I usually assume the hand that's doing the real thing is what my mind would go to, but maybe that's something I should get better on. Not assuming.
And what's your stance?
Stance is kind of kneeling. So so if their right leg is forward, so right leg forward. Oh, okay. I might have you all just scooch then, just so because there's not room for all of you. So if their right leg is forward, your left knee is on the floor kneeling, and then your right foot's on the floor like that. Yeah, but you'll back up a bit this way, Eva. And I'm probably closer to her too. Yeah, mess around with it and see. Awesome.
You can stay here if you want.
Yeah, Megan.
Well, you can, but up to you.
Yes, because I heard it. I remember so much on that. You know what I mean? This forward.
And then is it like right above the knee or should it be?
A little bit, like kind of mid thigh, not too. I mean, above the knee, but not so high that it's weird. All right, switch sides when you're ready. So I would do. Oh, you got it. Cool. I just couldn't see your thumb.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That's just
More or less pressure.
All righty, good work. I see you're on the calf massage, and I trust that you all can give calf massages. So I'm gonna keep it rolling just for time's sake. So we shake it out, and you lower down, and then locust pose. So for locust pose, I'm gonna think about making this little like. Sorry, I'm just gonna have to start being like choppy for time's sake, because I want to make sure you have enough time to practice. So you're doing great, and I'm sorry that I've got to be fiery about it. Little butterfly shape with your hands, right? They don't have to be, your thumbs don't have to be touching, but that's the shape you're gonna make with your hands at their sacrum. So I'm gonna let Sveta come into it first. So inhale, lift heart, head, hands, option to lift your thighs as well. Now that those hands come to the low back, I'm pressing down and pulling up. She didn't move a ton. Some people lift up like dramatically at that movement. Either is fine. Don't judge it either way. And then you'll stay with them, let them breathe, and then release. And then afterwards, bring a cheek to the floor. And you can, like you're a cat kneading, you can just kind of really smush into the low back, slow and side to side here. You can tell everyone else to like windshield wiper your legs, shimmy your hips into the floor. And then if your student tries to move, I'll be like, no, don't worry about it. I gotcha. Okay, go ahead and give that a go. Do your swapsies.
really helpful.
Yeah, Katie lifted up a lot. Yeah, Hannah, keep dragging back.
Is your stand in like this?
Oh yeah, yep, you're straddling them.
Okay. Inhale, little
Yeah, think really like, yeah, make them this. Yeah, you got it.
How does that feel?
Would this be like too?
So I avoid pulling on the shoulders. It's going to turn it more into a heart opener instead of a spine strengthener. It is one that's in your manual. I just don't love it because to me it forces them more into the shape. Yeah, good question. All right. Oh yeah, go ahead and swap if you haven't.
That's what I was trying to do.
Now lift your head. More less pressure. More. What's that?
Awesome. And Megan, you can go, you might have already done it like higher up too. Yeah. Alrighty. Let's just stay with your partners. Do you have a question? Okay.
That's why I asked.
All right. Let's bring it back. Let's stay with your partners and let's just run through the rest of these couple poses and we'll just do the adjustments with it. So, either one of you come to a seat with your legs out ahead of you, setting up for seated forward fold. Paschimottanasana. Paschimottanasana. You got it. So in staff pose, Dandasana, this is it. That's all. Do you think it's okay for knees to be bent?
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. This is really the same thing as a normal forward fold. So what do you think the breath's going to be? Exhale, forward, forward. Hinge from your hips. Lead with your heart. Keep the core engaged. I hate this cue. Reach for the outer edge of your feet. Do you think that it's okay to do that if it's accessible?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think it's also okay to not do it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. 4th grade gym class scarred me. The only way I passed that was touching my toes with straight legs. And I'm like, but that's not healthy. Okay, dokie. So we'll hold here for a bit and then our adjustments. We talked about earlier. So same thing, butterfly hands. And I'm going to reach for the exact same place, low back. And I'm going to press forward and that'll help tilt their pelvic bowl forward. So it's the same standing adjustment. It's just, you don't have the space to tilt their hips forward. You can stay with that the whole time. You might also run a hand up their spine and do a little shoulder thing, but I try to be very weary that I'm not trying to force them deeper in the roundness up here. I never want them to feel like I'm trying to force them into a shape with that. All right, go for it. And then swapsies when you're ready.
I should have a round.
You can do it with a round spine or a lengthened spine.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So
it's not that it doesn't matter, they just serve different functions.
Okay.
So if you want to teach and or practice it more of a spine strengthener, if you're like me and you're just like this all day, go into it with more leading with your heart, keeping your shoulders pulled back. You're not going to feel probably as much in the hamstrings, but if that's what you're prioritizing, try it out. You can do a little bit of both. Yeah, neither's wrong. There's just, you get to negotiate what you want out of the pose.
Someone was like, the goal for this is to bring your belly to your thighs more than like your forehead.
Okay, yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
why I was like, okay.
they
so-
were trying to help you keep a long spine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All righty, go ahead. I would probably sit for this one. Oh, and then remember in our friends who were assigned male at birth, taller pelvises, so you're probably going to be reaching up higher. Should have said that earlier.
Eric, you're saying higher male at birth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Alrighty. Students, so adjusters, go ahead and scooch to the side. Students, inhale, lift your torso, exhale, lower down to your back, setting up for happy baby.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
No,
totally.
yeah.
Yeah, you can switch if you want, doesn't matter to me. Alrighty. I'm not gonna force anyone to give or receive a happy baby adjustment, so just chat with each other. Are one of you two open to receiving? Oh, okay. Oh, you didn't get to do that. Did you all get to do both sides of forward fold? Or switch partners? Okay, cool. Can I have you two catch it later when you're practice teaching? Cool. So lay down onto your back for happy baby. Eva, are you okay with the happy baby sister? Okay. So this is always one that you are going to either say, give me a wave if you want one, or especially if you're working with a student that you think or knows already likes one, then I might just be like, but are you good with one? Something to check in, because it can be more vulnerable. So 2 options, hands on feet pressing straight down, or, so that can be done standalone, or I'm going to pigeon toe my toes in, knees to her thighs, and again, I'm not, super down crotch area, and I'm doing more or less.
More, maybe just a little. I've never had that.
Now I'm really gonna watch her breathe to make sure that it's not too much. I trust her words, but I don't trust everyone's. Do a hold here, and then I'm very cognizant, right, that like I am lifting myself back up. I'm not using her to stand up, because then I'm gonna put a lot more pressure on her. So you are in charge of your own body coming out, all right?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I got an adjustment from one of the instructors here, and they had me put my legs on their chest, and they were pushing.
Yeah.
Would that be like because of length maybe from the bodies?
It's
You had done that.
it's another great option. It's just not what we're teaching you.
Okay.
I think you could. I mean, in theory you could, but right now stick with
That's
this.
less awkward than what you just said, though. although she was like in my face,
Yeah.
right? If
And that's harder as the
what I'm
teacher
asking
too.
you.
So right now, stick with this.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, give it a go.
You want to switch and do me, or do you want me to do you again? I'm alright. That felt really good. You see, I feel awesome.
Well, get her feedback. You might feel awkward, and it might be something that you choose not to do.
Okay.
But if you feel awkward and she loves it, maybe that also impacts how you feel about it.
I need her legs, right?
On her feet. Yeah, pressing straight down. All right, swap it. Yeah, try not to make eye contact. Swap these as you're comfortable. I really just keep my eyes locked in on their belly to watch their breathing, because we want to do that, and then you're not like, hi.
No, you. Video, okay?
That would be great, thank you. No worries, yeah, thanks. Alrighty, come to a seat when you are done, as soon as you can. All right. So some modifications. You certainly don't have to reach for the foot. You could do ankle or thighs. Do you think it's okay to do one leg at a time?
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. You just had a Chipotle burrito. You feel vulnerable. It's too much sensation for any and all of the reasons, right? Let's see here. Oh, Ananda. Ananda. We've learned what that means. Bliss. Balasana. And you've also learned Balasana is what pose? Child's pose. Yeah. So happy, blissful child's pose. Happy baby. Okay. Most people, I'm just going to zip through these because most people know ankles over the knees, thighs to the outsides of ribs, hands grab feet or toes, entire back lengthens toward the floor. So you're really getting that like foundation to hold you. You can stay right here. You can kick side to side if there's room. by this point, people are usually pretty like, yay, unless they're like brand new to yoga and a little bit like, oh God, what's going on right now? But then they learn and then soon they're like, hey, all right. Supine twist. Ooh, cool. I like the Sanskrit. Okay. Jatara. Parivartanasana. Parivartanasana. I don't know what jatara means, honestly. But the parita we know is like a revolved. So, yeah, I'll have to learn that. Okay, so imagine that I am standing here in front of you. And what side do we want to twist to first when we're doing twists? Right. The right, yes. So I'll mirror you guys. So in crescent lunge, we twist to the right first. And in revolved prayer twist, we'll twist to the right first. Now in a supine twist, I'm going to, wait, hang on, I got confused mirroring you. I'm going to, if I were doing this pose standing, hold on. This would be me twisting to the right first, or really be like this. If I'm on my back, my knees came to my left. So this feels backwards as the teacher. So your transitional cue is release your left leg to the floor, pull your right knee in toward your chest. I flip-flop those. Otherwise, I get turned around and confused. So that you're on your back, squeeze it, you just did happy baby. Squeeze both knees into your chest, keep hold of your right leg. And then from there, it's impossible to get messed up. Left leg lengthens on the floor. You don't even have to say left leg. You can say other leg lengthens on the floor. Exhale, supine twist. Bring your knee. You don't even need to specify which knee because they're already holding it. Bring your knee across your torso. So yeah, flip-flop those in your manual. Pull your right knee into your chest. That way you as a teacher are still starting with your right side. Release your other leg to the floor. And then there's all of this. Left hand brings right knee across your body at 90-degree angle from hip. Bring your leg across into your twist. Is I think simple enough. And then you're cutting out lefts and rights. If and when this will happen, that you get confused on your lefts and rights, it's okay. Don't try to spend that much time fixing it. Right now, when you're trying to get it in your head, sure. But real life applications, a supine twist going the opposite way first isn't gonna do anything drastic to anyone's system. So just let them be. Shoulder reaches toward the ground. So this shoulder is going to want to poke up, and that's okay if it does a little bit, but it's not like we don't want to compromise our foundation for the sake of the twist. Gaze can go in the opposite direction. So gaze over your right shoulder. There's a lot of different supine twists you can do. If you can choose any other variation, or soles of your feet to the floor. There you go. And a knees knock over to the left first and then the right second. So this is just one of those, you got to really get it down, be prepared. But if you'll come back into the actual pose for me, please, Vera. I am going to kneel. This hand is going to go mid-thigh. This hand is going to keep the shoulder grounded. And I'm really going to watch her breath because as she exhales, I'm going to apply more pressure with the hand on the leg. And then as she inhales, I'm not going to apply more pressure. I'm just going to hold still. A little bit more on the exhale. I'm not backing out on the inhale. I'm just not applying more. And then I'll ask after a couple of breaths, do you want more or less pressure? So I'm pushing with my right hand that way. And then I'm also doing a little bit of inward rotation with it. And I really didn't get to do more because I told them that. So practice this out both sides. You're getting kneeling. You're not sliding into them. Yeah, questions? All right, awesome. Eva, I'll let you get this side if you want. So, okay, yeah, come on down to your backs. Right knee hugs in toward your chest. Left leg goes long on the floor. Exhale, supine twist. Bring your knee across your body.
Okay, so bring your left leg.
You got it. There you go. You got it.
You can also put your leg up.
Cool. Only thing is that you're not gonna be able to move her at all because her body's locked in, and that's okay. Yeah, so you can still give her the assist, and maybe it'll be more upward rotation, but
Should we do both of the sides?
yeah, go ahead and do both sides.
That was a good one.
Actually, y'all, I'm going to cut you off there because I know you've done it on one side. You can do it on the other. Go ahead and switch partners. And then you'll get the chance to do it when you practice teach. But I want to make sure there's time to practice teach. Alrighty. Okay, let's come back up. So, is there anyone in the room who has not received a Shavasana adjustment before? Okay.
I always get the shoulder, the press down.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a lot of different options. I'm not going to walk you through all of them, but you'll get one today. So you can do a little downward press on their shoulders. You could do a little shoulder rub. You could do a little neck massage. I don't like to touch people's feet. I don't like my feet touched, so I never do that, but I will come and do like a grounding hold on their ankles, or like not, I mean, maybe ankles, but maybe calf, lower leg. And no matter what you're doing for Shavasana, you are seated. So that you're not hovering, you're really at this point in class, like placing your nervous system on their nervous system. So like you're getting yourself grounded and comfortable. That way you're not just like, oh no, my muscles are tired and now they're feeling you shake. But like I said earlier, go through it really slow and yummy. Let it be more about just like groundedness and less. There can be massage-y elements to it, but it's not a massage. I'm not going to have you practice now. I'm just going to let you do that when you're practice teaching. In the Cambio sequence, probably most realistic that you only have 3 minutes of being in Shavasana, just because there's a lot in a Cambio sequence that you're trying to fit in. And remember, all of what we've learned today plus Camel is like 15 minutes. So 3 minutes of actually being in Shavasana, but then the way that we teach it and the way that Amber prefers it at the studio is to then leave 2 minutes after Shavasana to pull them out. That way you're not like rushing and it's not they're still in Shavasana and you're like, it's 10 o'clock right now. Be done when you're ready to be done and go. Because for the anxious people, the newer to yoga people, that's going to be really like, wait, what am I supposed to do? And maybe they just jar themselves up to a seat and kind of shake off all of the nice yumminess that they just created. So, so what that could look like. So, all right, getting them into corpse pose. We've got cues here. Feet wider than hips. Let feet flop to the sides, arms at your side, palms facing up. This is very much like an open, receptive shape. I feel so sad when I get people into Shavasana, and regardless of what I say, they're like rigid. They like look like they're in mountain pose on their back. And I'm like, I know that you're not comfortable and I know that you're not letting go. And there might be things I can do to support that. And also they may just not be there yet, and that's okay. We cannot create safety for people. We can help create a safe container for them to find it and create it for themselves. Similarly, eyes closed or soften your gaze. We never want to force eyes closed. And then we have here an integrative cue of expand into infinity and radiate your heart open. Cool, if you want to say that. Also, if you want to say something else, just say something that's nice and yummy that helps them get them into the spirit of Shavasana. Kristen Mack said something once that I really loved that was like, instead of like your mind's going to wander, because that's what our mind does. And we don't want people to feel like they're failing yoga because they have thoughts. Otherwise, none of us would be here. But instead, your mind's going to wander, but instead of letting yourself check out, kind of let your mind go wherever, like think about staying gently checked in and tuned in with what's going on in your body. And then I tell them, we will be here for a few minutes. I will let you know when it's time. And I say that because I remember my very first yoga class and teacher put us into Shavasana and we were probably there for 3 minutes, but it felt like 3 hours because I had never done it before. I didn't know what the purpose of it was, what the heck was going on. And my mind was just like, what am I supposed to be doing? Should I open my eyes yet? Do you think everyone has left? If I open my eyes, am I going to find out that everyone is gone? Have they locked me in the building? What am I supposed to be doing right now? Where's the teacher? Like everything that could be going through my mind was going through my mind. So just that little bit of expectation can really help people be like, okay, they will say something at some point and we'll move on. So put them in. When you're done giving adjustments, you're seated. Come back to the top of the class and you're seated. You're not like, I had someone like leering over me in Shavasana. I was like, what's going on? And they can feel your energy or hear your energy. So you have 2 minutes now till the top of the hour. And I say something like, take a soft breath in and let it go. If you want to stay here and rest longer, you can do so. If you want to bring in some gentle movements, you can. I'm going to pause. I'm going to let them do that. And I'll say, eventually turn over onto either side. Give them a moment there to pause. If you're ready, you can push yourself up to a seat and join me with hands at heart center. Have you all talked about Namaste? Okay, you will with Laura at some point. Any Sanskrit that you choose to end your class with, research it. Make sure that you understand what it means. All of us here used to use Namaste to close our class, and then we discovered that that has literally no relevance to what we're doing. And if you're going to say it, there's like a very specific mudra and gesture that should be along with it. And it's more like greetings, elder, not the light in me, season on earth, the light in you, in the way that we were using it. So whatever you choose to do, make sure to understand it. Sometimes I used to do a lot of chanting at the end of class or different Sanskrit stuff. And honestly, lately I've just been kind of like the end because I'm like, why though? Like, why? I mean, I'm an American teacher in America. I don't feel the need. We've already done the yoga and class is over now. But whatever and however you want to close your class, put intention into it. And then, so, I'll still usually have them like take a bow to usually like something within them. And then I'll be like, awesome. Thanks so much for coming today, y'all. That's it for our practice. So it's still a very clear, like class is over now. If you would like to stay and rest longer, please do. If and when you're ready to leave, please do so carefully and quietly to respect those who wish to stay, because you will have the people who are ready to start talking to each other. But I would love conversation in the lobby. Let me know any questions, comments, feedback that you have, things like that. Questions?
Do people ever actually like give feedback or like negative feedback?
Well, other teachers will give you helpful feedback. The most times you get no feedback and people are like, hey, bye. Or the feedback that they give you that's intended to be helpful is like, well, you need more Ed Sheeran on your playlist. So yeah. But so you'll have conversations with both Amber and Austin as you get closer to the end of like how to ask for really specific questions of like, how was that transition? How was this adjustment? Things like that, because then you have a shot at getting actually helpful feedback. And also the things that you're doing well can still be really helpful feedback. Like I got some great feedback on Thursday night that was like, you do this really well. And I was like, oh, I hadn't heard that before. So like, that's a good cue to me to like, oh, good, lean into that a little bit more. That's something people are picking up on. Okay, Shavasana, you can also lay on your side, your belly. You can have your knees knocked in constructive rest pose, especially if it tweaks your low back to have them out long. This is one that we usually would say the Sanskrit for, actually, because the word corpse pose could be very activating for people depending on what they're going through. So, Shavasana, Shavasana. Sorry, Shavasana. I put the emphasis in the wrong place because I was trying to say that it's a sh, not a s sound. So, Shavasana, Shavasana. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, so I left you with just a little bit less time than I wanted to. You have really 30 minutes left before we're out of here today. If you're doing 15 and 15, it's going to be tight. And I also would like us to have 2 minutes to close up the day. So let's manage your time, swap when you're ready, put it all together. And if you can be back here at about 12:55 to 58-ish, cool. And we'll just kind of go from there. But I don't want to rush you too much. Okay, keep working with your same partners and have fun. Yeah, you might be a little bit like, fast forward. Or, yeah.
Yeah. And we're just doing it from animals.
Ooh, yeah. Let's start. Did you practice each camel last week?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start from you just ended camel going back into down dog. Good question. Mhm.
And I've always wondered before starting teachers, is it if you have some adjustments or is it just something? Yes, I was glad that when we first started talking about that, I was like, if people opt in, you want to make sure that they get that.
Yeah.
I don't feel like,
No, I just took a class where I didn't get adjusted, and she literally adjusted each person next to me in, like, she just her and then skipped over me and went straight to him, and I was just like, what? No.
Okay, do you want to teach it? I'll be student first. Okay, definitely. Let me teach this off. So we start forming it. Right leg left, bend knee and square the hips. No. And so should have been inhale release. Exhale lunge. Pigeon, right? Pigeon, yeah. Three-legged dog. You're fine. Inhale, lift more so. Oh, it's because it's a. You're good? Yeah. Right leg. Right behind me on your right shoulder, that's your right shoulder. Okay, and now inhale, lift torso. And the left leg lifts for down. Yeah. Step back to plank. Oh. Because now you're gonna do another downward dog. Inhale, leg lift hips. And exhale, bend. Square your hips. Exhale, take back your hips here. Three-legged. Exhale, your with that leg up, it is on your toes. Inhale, exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right forward. Exhale, lower leg down to the belly. Here, if you'd like, your chin will be your chin or forehead. Do that. Arms coming behind you with the hands facing. Inhale, lift torso. On your neck or inhale goes into the
Inhale, your cat to lower to belly, good way, can also lift the legs. Inhale, hips, you wanna lift your hands, your hands are parallel to your body, palms are facing back to mat, there you go, shin, head to the mat. In slow this, lift your head, torso, and legs. Come to a seated position. Legs are always forward. Lifting your shoulders and inhale exhale. Get it forward. Right the way with the breath here. Hands reach the side. First you forward. Inhale, let it go. Up over the head. Inhale, exhale more so. Yeah. Well, also a lot of you can grab more big toes, you can grab outside of your feet. Spin one leg for ninja baby. Maybe we're gonna right from here. Inhale, lift towards the pressure on that. Slowly exhale, lift your down back. Inhale, happy with me. You're ready. Just your back hands or here. Hinge baby if you want. Roll side to side or okay. You want to do what is hold on to the first time that left or right?
Right.
All wide shoulders and you're laying planted. Knees out and forward. Keep the right knee closer to your shoulders Let's start it forward. Shoulders on mat. I only thought that would happen. Inhale. I feel happy being and less on keeping the word out of my hold the shadow. And one leg keep the left knee back, the right knee, left leg back. And it goes over to here. So we bring your left knee to your chest, right leg extends long. Usually left knee twist to the right. Inhale to the left. You can release your hands. Spiral to your body, face folds out, you have to regret this. There are a couple of breaths and feel how you know.
She hasn't gotten to that adjustment. Would it be like in the neck? Because I release the neck. I saw you when you were doing it. You gave like a little Just moving
Mhm.
in the shoulder.
Yeah.
Exhale, bend your knees, bend your knees, that's your hips.
And then yes. No, that's good.
When we first like work around moving to the arm of the shoulders, like your shoulder. So, but I just want to so maybe like this. Being softer first. Everything else like it's easily helps. Oh, I did, yeah, and I was like, I'm worried that I'll do too much, but I don't know. Yeah. So, yeah, thank you for that. Because I really have a lot of but I wanted to very close.
Always.
So.
So on point. Was your voice confused before it started? Like I felt like.
And now we're like, delicious.
You know,
Then you should stack your hips.
Just don't know which one it was.
It's just, I did it. I know.
I wasn't. So the first thing I came when I was practicing with my husband, like. Hard time, like I still have much.
Right to your right ankle, right ankle to your over your shoulder. And then you can stay here and exhale and remember down to see what is this way. Yeah, it's just because of the exterior. Let's see.
Yeah.
More or less. That's good. Next thing. Your torso, put your hands. And exhale. Step it back to three-legged down dog. Then shoot out your right leg where you can hit it.
Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, right your knees, your arms
Yes.
Make sure that you keep your front toes pointed. Pointed, yeah, there you go. Okay. And then you're welcome to stay up here or you can lower down.
Yeah.
Your right leg.
Sit down to see your forward.
Bend your knees. Step your hips. Forward spread. More attention on my back. Please, like that. Chest release. Inward. Even as the hands and down the torso. Step it back if you like it. Don't let this one down. Pick out that one leg. Press. And then lower it. Find way to your belly. Situate your alignment. It's like a nine kind of. Oh, inhale, plan. Lower to the belly. Okay. Inhale, plan. Exhale, lower to the belly. Okay. Bring your arms long and keep your palms facing down. We're setting up for locust pose. On an inhale, raise your head, your torso, maybe your thighs come off the mat too. Keep breathing here, maybe ride the wave of your breath and you notice how you gently move back Press back with your right leg. Reloading that. Shake it out. If you're ever feeling come to your forehead, or maybe you come to your favorite ear, and then windshield wiper. Never going to see that over again. Windshield wiper. Do whatever you want to. I'm just here. Whatever, girl. This is your class, not mine. Okay, and then make your way to a comfortable seated position. Left knee to left wrist. Bring your legs out long in front of you. And lengthen your spine by really sitting up tall. Have a generous bend in your legs. And then on an exhale, yep. You're seated forward. Your hands can come to the toes, the sides of the feet, or shins. Hands up. Exhale, down the chin, slowly to your chin before you touch the mat. Off to your jaw. And have your hands into hips. You turn your back toes. You'll lift your torso, which is the position. And you exhale, lower the hands. Setting up for happy baby here. So put your knees into your chest and grab knees. You can grab where the elbows, the outsides for these. There. One more. Shins. So roll up to or roll your spine to the length. Inhale. Lower it down. Exhale. Exhale. Lower down your belly. Also, your hands are going to go down to the side. Palms of the other. We're rocking side to side. Forehead on the back. Middle. Forehead on the ground. Ready. Approach. Lifting your arms in here. Maybe you don't have a your knees will switch your back. With your right leg into your chest and extend your right leg out long. So bring your right leg turn to the right side of your body. Keep your shoulders over the like. Inhale. And once you let your legs. When you're ready. Return to center by having your knees into your chest. And now switch your left leg in. Extend your right leg out. Just over to the okay, now like that, side to side. Take 8 final movements. Send your legs out about how these two go. And explain come to the up. Forward and stop it. Exhale, push your knees out down into left Savasana. Take your left hand and pull your knee over across your chest. Nice and great. Keep it to bring some awareness back into your remember that we're all the fingers and shoulders. You can find small wrist circles. Definitely towards the back, right? Into your neck and your side to side. I'm fine. Hold on to that. Grab your knees, do a little bit of around. Kiss the knees. Now your left knee is going to stay in. Press yourself to the right leg. Your right hand. You said chin. Maybe returning to the chin. Thank you all for staying with me today. We hope that you got something out of today's class that you feel up and around the rest of your day. If you have any questions, please yes, I didn't have to finish boxing your measures. You still have your knees together. I like back to your attention. Okay. Okay, I will bring you okay, good, awesome. Oh, good, awesome.
Anything? Oh, I think already. Do you have any power languages? No, but
If you're done, start to be thinking and talking with your partner about what you're going to practice and how you're going to practice it in the next week. All righty, let's bring attention back up here for the last 2 minutes. Okay, I don't want to keep you guys any longer, so I'm gonna please, if you're able to, stay after and give each other more feedback. But thanks for rolling with me today because I know this was a lot to fit in. So way to go. Showing up, being present, being brave, asking great questions. It's just you all are really like us facilitators, we're getting to learn a lot from you and the grace that you're moving with. So thank you for blessing me with that today. Little random tidbit, if you notice, like I turn the lights off, right? So when you're practice teaching, if you're in a space where you have control over that, great, go ahead and start practice teaching, maybe closing the curtains, turning the lights off. You'll start doing that at about the beginning of spine hip surrender, end of triangle-ish. And if you're in a place where you can't do that, a little mental note to yourself of like, this is where I would do that. Okay, way to go. Well, let's close up with the word and then we'll put the space back together. And if you need me, I'll hang out afterwards. Who wants to kick us off?
Relax.
Which
I'll do it.
growth. All right, let's okay. And then back.
Oh, surrender.
Okay.
Lights.
Intention.
Also relaxed.
Trust.
Hips.
Okay. Grace is mine. And thank you for giving me some grace this morning. Alrighty. That class is heading into spine, hips, and surrender. So we just don't want to be too noisy out here, but we'll put the place back together. It's one, so if you're like, I gotta leave, great. But yeah, hopefully do what you can. And thanks, y'all.